Hello, everybody, and welcome to our usual Wednesday night live Intuitive Oracle with Gemma Jade and Ghostdragonzw. Thank you guys so much for coming in and hanging out with us. If you've been trying to get in touch with me for the past few days, or if I've been a little absent, I've just got some personal stuff going on. So don't worry, I'm okay. And I'll get back to all of you as soon as I can. And I haven't had a chance to check emails or comments. And most of my texts, honestly, have been going kind of red, but by the wayside while I figure some things out personally and professionally too, kind of. So with that vague announcement, keep voting on Face of Horror, please. I'm probably going to make final cuts because now it'll be the top 10. But since this morning, I was now in 5th place, where I've been steady on 4 throughout, but only 1st place wins, guys. I thought for sure I would at least come in a close second, but I didn't know it was going to be this long, drawn-out contest, probably right up until Halloween, now that I think about it. And then I didn't know they were charging for votes. I thought it was going to be like that day, and then by the end of the day, whoever won. And if that was the case, I would have won. But now it's like this process of more money, more money, more money. But like I told everyone else, if you're not on Facebook, you can vote for free once a day. If you're on Facebook, you can vote for free twice a day. If everybody just uses those 2 free votes a day or that 1 free vote per day, I could probably stand a chance. I don't have TikTok and Instagram. I mean, I have them, but not TikTok, but I have Instagram and Twitter, but I haven't used them in years, and I'm just not social media savvy. So, it's a popularity contest. I'm not winning, but it is what it is. So just keep that in mind, guys. All right, Vixen Doe, Miss Lotus Girl, Maraid, hi, wifey. So good to see you. I'm so glad you stopped in, that you're here. We've missed you. Bat Mom, hey, sweetie. I was supposed to get back to you today. I'm sorry. Yeah, like I said, it's been a pretty rough day. And Palmer, hi. Jarvis, Miss Smoochie, hi sweetie, how are you? Ralph and Cassie, Francis, I was just gonna say I haven't heard from Mike all week, but I'm assuming you're very sick, so I didn't want to bother you, but you have been in my thoughts and in my prayers. Mike, it's nice to see you here, and I really do hope you're doing well. Ghostdragonzw, fancy meeting you here. And Nightmare, what's up, yo? And Edna, hey, sweetie poo. Hope I didn't miss anybody. And let's bring in Ghostdragonzw. Oh, Terminator T800. Hi. I don't know why that name looks familiar. Yeah, Mike, I kind of felt it, like that you were in bed sick. So I picked that up, and I didn't want to disturb you, because I know, like, when I'm sick in bed, I don't even bother with my phone. Like, I just can't. Yeah, and I do that too. I go into like a long sleep. I'm such a diva when I'm sick. But I hope you're on the mend, and sending a lot of healing, love, and light. And let's bring Ghost Dragons in. Hello, sir.
I'm in the basement. Yeah.
I was going to say, I told you not to let everyone see the basement behind you.
Okay, I'll go back.
Larry A, hey, sweetie. I like that one.
That's my room.
Is it?
Yeah, that's where I sleep, right there.
Oh, wow, you moved it. Or is it a picture of the...
No, it's my room. It's actually my room. I got rid of the virtual.
Wait, what?
No, that's my room back there. This is my bed.
Oh, no, I'm saying what's usually behind you is not a bed, right?
Yeah, it's always been there. I just got a ton more pillows on it because after the surgery, I have to sleep sitting up.
That's so crazy. I've never noticed there was a bed there.
Yeah, it's my bed.
My goodness. All right. I do have a new deck. I've been waiting for it for months to come out, and I didn't pre-order it because I don't like to pre-order. I want my stuff like basically immediately. It's got very long and drawn out definition. So even for personal, since I got it, I've been using it for the what you don't may or may not see coming, or what you do not see coming, may or may not know. So I got the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle, and it is pretty badass, guys. It's pretty badass. I'm loving it. Cowie, hi. All right, so who's up first? Let's just get started.
Vixen Doe. I'm good, guys. I still haven't gotten the test results back on the biopsy. So that's kind of weird. Usually I have them by now, so I'm just waiting. But I'm good.
It doesn't mean that anything's wrong. It could just mean that they have, their back.
They were busy. That's why I'm using the mic tonight and the headsets. My ear is bugging me, and my voice is kind of coming and going still. So
you did not have to come on tonight. We told you that.
Why? There's reasons I'm here.
So I've got smoky quartz and clear quartz here set up to try to draw more spirit in today. Try to get a bigger, better connection, I guess. All right. Vixen Dome using Alice in Wonderland Oracle. I hope everyone else is having a wonderful week. Vixen, you got the card of uncertainty. It's card number 39. It's in the reversed. Choose who you will become. The caterpillar and Alice looked at each other for some time in silence. At last, the caterpillar took the hookah out of its mouth and addressed her in a languid, sleepy voice. "Who are you?" said the caterpillar. This was not an encouraging opening for a conversation. Alice replied rather shyly, I hardly know, sir, just at present. At least I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have changed several times since then." So when Alice meets the caterpillar, he wants her to tell him who she is, what she is. Alice feels she cannot answer as she is changing so much on her journey through Wonderland. She's unused to being so tall. It feels strange to be so small. But her indecision, sadness, and uncertainty are not met with sympathy. Oh, I can relate. Instead, the caterpillar gives her the chance to change herself to a size she feels more comfortable with. He does not tell her how she should feel or what size she should be, but he does offer her the keys to self-empowerment by subtly letting her know she can choose her own size with the aid of a mushroom. It's rarely so easy. Empowerment cannot be instantaneously given to you. You can't decide what you want to be and immediately be there. It's a journey. On the way, you'll make errors of judgment, and it is only through the willingness to learn, experiment, try, fail, retry, and fail again that you will come to understand what must be done to be who you wish to be. Advice on what we must do to be empowered is on offer, but if you expect it to be easy, quick, or something another person does for you, you will soon learn that the process is trickier and more arduous. Ultimately, it's far more rewarding than you could ever have thought. In the reverse, it's the fear of following advice and learning through experience, wishing things were easier or more predictable, the belief that becoming who you wish to be ought to be simpler, wanting another to do the hard work or solve the problems for you, wanting support but being unwilling to apply discipline or too scared to make the mistakes from which you will learn. Vixen Doe, I don't ever get a feeling from you that you're looking for someone else to do things for you, okay? And I don't ever get a feeling from you that you want instantaneous gratification or satisfaction. What I'm getting right now from this card, though, is that there's so many steps you need to take, and I feel like you know the steps, and I feel like you're willing to take them, and I feel like you're slowly taking them to the best of your ability to be able to take them. However, I think I might have said this to you last week, or I know I say it to someone every week. There are too many cooks in your pot, right? There are so many people giving you so much different advice that sometimes I feel like you could feel lost in what you want, because do you ever want something and then someone puts another idea in your head that sounds even better to you in the moment, and you're like, "Oh no, I can do that instead," And I feel like there's a lot of that going on, or there's a lot of people putting negative what ifs in your head. Like, well, what if you break down and get mauled by a bear while you're out RVing. What if anything can happen at any time to anyone? And I feel like this week, once again, you need to stand in your power. You need to put those boundaries up and stick to them. But you have to let people know what the boundaries are, because some people don't understand the concept of boundaries. And it's like, yeah, most people know that, most people know where to draw the line with getting involved in someone else's business, but some people have no sense of personal space. And so I feel like you need to let everyone know where you draw that line between giving advice and making demands, and by being way too negative about what you're doing. And again, if people can't respect those boundaries, you are going to have to let them know that they're cut off until they really, truly can. Okay? Thanks, Jarvis. Jarvis says, hit the like or I start sending out the gerbils.
Oh, no. Please don't do that. The black-eyed gerbers. Oh, no. Dear Lotus is next.
All right.
I'm scrambling around like a little chicken.
All right. I'm going to use the Lantern Oracle for you, Miss Lotus Girl. Release the gerbils instead of the hounds. I don't know.
Did you see thousands of gerbils running down the street and Chris standing behind them going?
I would be terrified because rodents. Like, I love hamsters, which is so ass backward, I guess. I love hamsters, but rodents are like I'm not afraid of ghosts or demons or spirits. I'm afraid of rats. And anything that looks like a rat. So opossums and gerbils and hamsters. Vixen Doe, you say, I am absolutely fighting the spiritual battle to let people know that there are time limits coming up, but trying to do it in a non-confrontational way. Honey, I understand that. And let me tell you, I totally understand the non-confrontational. But sometimes going a roundabout way just doesn't get through to some people. Because like I said, some people just don't understand the concept, right, of non-confrontational. Some people don't understand the concept of tact or dare I say class. And I'm not saying the people you're dealing with have no class. I'm just saying sometimes people behave in that way for whatever reason. Some people you have to get confrontational, but you can get confrontational in a way that is still not cruel or rude. You can say like, this is what it is, and I'm sorry if that doesn't work for you, but it's about me and what works for me right now. Because it is. You're at a crossroads in your life, honey. Plain and simple. Not all of us are at a crossroads, but you are. Yes, Ghostdragonzw, stay hydrated.
I am. I got my water.
Too. Yeah, but they got to pay. Ugh. You know what it is? It's the tail. The tail just does not belong on a furry animal. All right. It grosses me out. All right. Lotus, you got the unknown. Knowing the unknown. Smoochy girl, how's that grandbaby? Oh my God, he was so cute. I was trying to think of the nickname that you gave him because I thought it was so cute. It was so funny. Her grandson has oh my God, just those cheeks that you just want to like grab and just. Card number 5, Lotus. And if you guys are waiting, if you make a monthly donation, whether it be it through Patreon or not, just know that I started the monthlies yesterday. Obviously, I won't have time to do any tonight, but I'm hoping by the end of the week to have them done and out to you guys. I didn't want to do them as early as I did them for September because I handed them out in like the beginning of August. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the month and I haven't started them yet. Bubba Fox. I love it. Okay. Lotus, It is natural and human to feel reluctant and fearful at the beginning of a significant change. Change confronts us with so many unknowns and such overwhelming feelings that challenge us whenever an unfamiliar direction is taken. However, to never try something new or cease to continue when things change is to go against life's natural rhythm of continued growth and transformation. What is known can quickly become comfortably familiar as well as stifling to our gradual yet ungrowing progression. The price we pay to stay in what is known is stagnation and fear. Trust that you have the sufficient skills and knowledge to navigate your way through an unknown aspect of your life. It may be that you have avoided or put off changing your career, changing locations, committing to a new project, starting a family, or ending a relationship for some time now. If so, this card has shown up to remind you that if you do nothing different, nothing is different. You are much more than the accumulation of your fears. You are capable of moving forward despite any uncertainty that you might feel. You have everything it takes to choose the unknown and embrace change by focusing on what your next step requires. Any and every journey is the result of taking one step into the unknown at a time. The maiden's message: once you choose to keep moving, the next step will be made known to you. Ghost Dragons, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For that amazing super chat. I do appreciate you.
I know you do, hon.
So, Lotus, I feel like this is, there's a few aspects of your life right now that you're trying to change, or that are actually that are changing, that you're trying to keep up with that change. And I feel like the more you fight against it, the worse it's going to be, right? And that doesn't mean you have to go along with changes in your personal life or with your own business or things or people that you're responsible for that you're not okay with, okay, honey? But what it does mean is that if the change is inevitable or if there's no way to stop it, see what happens next. I feel like all you need right now is a tiny bit more patience to just wait another week to see what these confusing, scary, and aggravating changes bring in. Then see if there's something presented to you, a way that you can change it in another week or so. I feel like this isn't just a card of the unknown. I feel like it's a card for you, Lotus, of patience. I know that you have patience, and I know you've been dealing with certain negative people and places and spaces and situations for a really long time. And I feel like this card is letting you know, like, Spirit has your back. So right now, Spirit is moving all these pieces around. Like I always say, it's like on a chessboard to make you the queen, right? Or to make it so that you can king the other person. I'll just say to make you the queen of your own world, right? To give you everything that you wanted in the way that you wanted it. A lot of the times our wishes and our goals and even our spiritual journey show up so differently than what we expect them to look like, right? And I feel like you need to trust in that just a little bit more. And I think getting away and going, even on a mini vacation, or like I mentioned in your personal, a little staycation alone, or a mini vacation with a couple people that you really trust and love, is going to kind of bring you, like, reset you from all the stress, the trauma, the drama, everything you've been experiencing. And you're going to gain so much more perspective by doing those little things for yourself and putting yourself first, at least every once in a while. Yes, definitely, Eris. For anybody that's in Florida or who has family, loved ones in Florida, I've been definitely praying, definitely doing what I can on my end to just pray that everyone gets through it alive. I know this is easier, this is very easy to say because I'm not in that situation, but things can be replaced for the most part. People cannot. So let's just hope that all of the people get out safe and come through with minimum damage to their homes. I mean, that's all we can hope for at this point. That's the best we can hope for,
Oh yeah, and like Eris says, the animals too. You don't know who got to get their pets out. So,
and even the wildlife.
Oh yeah, well, now they're going to be worried about alligators and everybody moving inland. So you're going to have gators everywhere. Oh yeah.
Who's next?
Mermaid.
Mermaid. All right. Here it is. Deep, dark, and dangerous. Okay, Ralph and Cassie.
I'll put you on hold.
Don't like anything that crawls. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Not 100%, but for the most part. I'm tolerant of pets, but yeah, creepy crawlies, not this girl.
I can do anything, but once the spider gets into my space, that's a whole different ball game.
Just get some peppermint oil, couple drops, put it in water and spray it.
I just look at them when they run.
Peppermint oil keeps away rodents, mice particularly, and spiders.
Yeah, my grandma used to take the little peppermint candies and lay them in the corners of the house.
I just get some couple drops of my peppermint oil. I put it in a little bottle, and then I just, every time I change my sheets, which is usually once a week, sometimes twice, I spray it on the bed, on the sheets, on the pillows, and around the bed and windowsills. Because they have a habit of getting in my bed, which is, I live in the woods, you know. I've seen bugs I've never, I never even knew existed.
Oh, it's when we go down south. When I went down south Ohio, it's like I never seen these type of bugs before.
Mike,
they don't bother me.
It finally came out. Yes, it did. Most of the ones on my wish list that were pre-order came out. The Marvel deck still isn't out, and it's like 6 months late. The Avatar deck still didn't come out. The Sexual Magic, the Anatomy of a Witch, a few of them. There's another Dark Goddess one that came out, but it's like $60. So I'm hoping that goes on sale eventually. You got the Dragon, the card of treasure. So there's 3 different categories of cards in this deck: deep, dark, and dangerous. This is a deep card, and it's card number 4.
Well, dragons are deep.
Know what you treasure. Change is natural. Holding on to what is impossible long term. So far, all 3 cards, same theme. Protect what is important to you, set proper boundaries, and trouble might avoid you. Be strategic, think ahead, be brave. You can actually triumph if you try. Perhaps one of the most well-known creatures of the darkness across many world cultures is the dragon. From ancient Sumeria, Japan, China, Korea, right across to Egypt and the Middle East, across Europe, through the Bible, and even Sufi poetry, all have dragon lore. While they may be described differently depending on where you are from, dragons almost always have a serpentine form, are large-tailed, scaly, and often live hidden in places like caves, deep pools, or inside of mountains, or in my basement. Asiatic and Middle Eastern dragons are the most like great serpents, sometimes with legs, sometimes without, and are often strategic and intelligent in their mythos. Chinese dragons are beautiful and are considered aligned with the element of rain and bringers of good fortune. The European dragon is most often winged, can breathe fire or spit venom, and has often been the target of heroes who kill them in order to win a prize, overcome something, complete a given task, or recover or steal the dragon's hoard of treasure. It is this aspect of their mythos that is intriguing. Dragons can be seen as both gatekeepers and protectors of treasure, what is valued at the same time. Sometimes the dragon collects the shimmering golden jewels for themselves simply because it is beautiful to them. Sometimes the treasure is being guarded for a purpose, good or bad, yet the dragon must be overcome for the hero to be rewarded with some of the treasure. In the Norse sagas, there is a wonderful story of the hero who makes his money by working out various ways to sneak past sleeping dragons. In the English saga Beowulf, a slave steals a single cup from a dragon's hoard, and the dragon knows of it and begins to raise the city around it. Beowulf takes 12 warriors with him to slay the dragon, but when they see it, all but one runs. Beowulf battles the dragon, but his sword shatters and he is mortally injured. Both he and the dragon are dying. He tells the one warrior who stayed that he must bury the majority of the dragon's treasures, lest the cowardly soldiers come back to claim it, and he and the dragon die, both without the precious treasure. Both terrible and beautiful dragon magic is still strong today. So many films and games still mention dragons, and the motif appears on flags for sports teams and in popular culture everywhere. More likely now than ever, dragons are increasingly seen as benevolent, intelligent, and often wronged by humans. Your plant companion this week is the orchid, and your crystal companion is gold. So, well, the emerald crystal and then the gold stone. So, Mermaid. I feel like this card has you questioning, or like this coming week has you questioning what's really important to you. What do you hold dear? What do you value? What is your treasure? What is your heart's desire? What's your treasure that you already have? And what's your desire to attain? Like deep, deep down inside. If you could have one thing different, if you could be one thing different, what would those two things be? And then working out a way to attain those things, right? Slaying the dragon, I feel in this case, is synonymous with slaying and overcoming your fear of either facing reality, depending on the situation, or understanding that you're not the only one with these same dreams and ideals and goals. I would greatly caution you this week, particularly, to watch what you treasure, whether it be your heart or a physical object or your money. There is someone looking to take that from you. So this week, you're going to have to be the warrior, okay? You're going to have to stand up for what you hold sacred, for what you hold dear. I would also, and I don't mean this to sound scary, but I can only tell you what comes through. Lock your doors and be very mindful about who's around you, who's on your property at night. Lock your car, just take extra precautions against literal thievery, and be careful who you let in to your inner and sacred space, not just your home, but like your heart, and into your mind, into your subconscious with you. Be careful who you bring along for the ride, because not everyone is worthy. Like Beowulf's 12 warriors, only one stood around and stood firm. And I feel like somebody is like coming back from the past to try to lay claim to something good that you have in your life right now, as if they had any sort of freaking part of it, when really they had no part of it, except the fact that they treated you like crap, probably, and you moved on from that and became a better person whose eyes are more wide open to their BS. Okay? Look out for smooth talkers, swindlers, and actual people who are looking to steal physically what's yours as well. Be on guard this week. And I don't like to give that message because I feel like some people it makes nervous. But again, I try not to sugarcoat. Watch out for the aliens. No hitchhiking. Yes, Gerard Bennett. Welcome, sir. Who's next?
Married.
I just read for her.
Oh, the Bat Mom.
Batwoman.
I was reading Batman earlier.
That's okay. Bat Mom. I'm going to do the gentle creatures. I haven't pulled this one out in a while. Maria, you're so very welcome. All you guys are. Oh, boy. Miss Smoochie, I got you.
And we got Meredith if you still want us to do her Smoochie.
Yeah.
So I got her down right underneath Smoochie. So
I know who her daughter is.
Okay. I was just making sure. I was just letting her know. It's dragon.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's dragons down in the basement. We kind of lose contact with things.
Gerard, if you're not sticking around, let me know and I'll read for you soon. Batmom, you got heal. I should probably share this out. I don't see Blue Crossroads and Shauna.
I don't either. I was waiting for him to pop in.
Yeah, okay. I can read you next, Gerard. Let me just share this out real quick. I don't only take a second, guys, if I can get the weekend off of my screen here. Come on. All right. Your channel. No, I don't want to go incognito. Let's share this out. Share happening now. Come chill. Heart gem unicorn. There we go. I'm a star boy. All right. Bat Mom, you got heal. Our two friends share a quiet moment. The larger one has come to ask for a blessing, a healing. The woman has donned her priestess's robe to meet them at the cliff's edge. Too often we imagine we are alone. Instead of reaching out to ask for what we need, we pull back. Remember that even the tiny mouse helped the big lion. When you are minuscule or mighty, whether you are minuscule or mighty, what's important is the act of asking. That is far more urgent than anything else here. Remember that healing is something best shared. You never know when your pain can help someone else through their own grief. Perhaps it is a loss so great you fear your heart might break. Maybe it is a fear rooted so deeply within your soul that it's become like a second self. You are at your strongest when you can say, please, I need your help. Trust that you will find the person who can help you heal. Trust that the one who can help you will help you. Allow those who can't help their own space to heal. Allow those who can't help. It has can't, comma, help. That's why that was the confusion. Allow those who can't help their own space to heal. You are at the edge of the cliff, either asking for benediction or giving it. We all must hold sacred both those roles. Will you be the mouse or the lion today? Don't worry, it'll change as necessary. So I feel like when you ask for help, there may be some things that you're going through right now that you don't want to ask for help for one reason or another. I mean, that's the obvious meaning of the card, but it is what it is. There's something going on with you, whether it be physically, emotionally, that it's like you're so used to being in this space by yourself. So say it's a heartbreak. You're so used to dealing with things like heartbreaks and pain by yourself that to physically say it out loud, you feel is going to hurt more, or that you're going to be judged. So whatever this is, whether it be heartbreak or whether it be something you're experiencing or seeing or feeling, whatever, the universe is saying that when you ask for help, first of all, be patient to those you ask. And secondly, what about all the times that you were there for someone? You know, even when you feel like there's no one in the world who can possibly understand you, how would you ever know if someone can understand you if you don't reach out for whatever help you need? And this week, I would challenge you to ask for help, to let it all out. And even if you put it out into the universe, okay, that help is coming in for you. Be patient for its arrival. But I feel like in the next couple of weeks, you're going to find someone in a very similar situation, or someone who can relate enough to do more than just lend an ear, who can actually help in some way, even if in some small way. And I feel like that's going to empower you to want to help others in return. So whatever this is, and I do feel like it's something internal that you're dealing with. Obviously, you don't want to tell the whole world, but I feel like instinctually or intuitively, you understand who's going to, even if they can't help you, at least listen and possibly point you in the direction of someone who can. You have to stop bottling this stuff up, even if it's what you're used to, even if it's what you've done your whole life. The universe is challenging you to let it go. Uncork that bottle, let it explode if it has to. The right people will be there in the wake when the storm settles. All right, Gerard.
Are you going to go ahead and do him? Okay, then Ann, you'll be next.
Gerard has to go.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right, let's do Halloween.
Halloween is coming. It's
Sure
coming.
is. I was like, RJ wanted me to be a prisoner because he's being a cop. And I was going to, and then I remembered I paid like $60 or $70 for my flapper dress for Eliana's party last year. And I was like, yeah, I'm being a flapper this year. Be kind. Hey, sweetheart. Thank you for stopping in. If you could hit the like on the way out, I would really appreciate it. And message me when you get your box, okay? I left out all the scents, but I sent you some pretty cool crystals. So, love you. Gerard, you got Zombie, the card of control. Zombie never fails. With their tanks and their bombs. Okay. The dead arise, voices a mumbling. After our brains are screams, they are tumbling. Zombies have become quite the fashion recently, much like vampires. Turn on the television, you can't escape the moaning and groaning of these living dead. And yes, they do seem to be after your brains. There are even public zombie walks where people dress up as zombies and appear en masse on roads and in cities. But zombies are not merely a fun icon of pop culture. Traditionally, they are mainly associated with the African and Haitian voodoo religion. Zombies are said to be dead bodies reanimated by incantations chanted by a learned practitioner called a boker. And they are usually enlivened for a purpose. Thank you, Bat Mom. The practitioner is said to capture part of the living soul to animate the body, and that it is always a temporary action as the soul cannot be contained in that decomposing body for long, or God will take the soul back. One of the most frightening aspects of the idea of zombieism is the idea of our souls and consciousness being trapped inside a body that does not do our bidding but someone else's. Another is the idea of being buried alive, the fate of some, it is said, who get trapped in already dead bodies. Should the zombie step unsteadily into your life, it's time to look at the concept of control. Do you want to control everything, leaving little to free expression? Do you choose partners who are not your equal so that they are more easily manipulated and changed to your liking? Or do you allow that to happen to you? Yes. If you are not living your most authentic life, it's time to look at why and how to change that. So I feel like, yes, you used to at least allow yourself a lot of manipulation in relationships, right? But you weren't really allowing it because you were doing a lot of the same things, just you were super good at being the nice guy and hiding it. So I feel like what this is saying is who's holding you back from your most authentic self, from being your most authentic self? Who is holding you back from your most authentic life? Is it judgment from your friends? Is it manipulation from your family? Is it fear of not only failure, but of success as well coming directly from you? Are your dreams and goals and is your best life something that's easily attainable, or are you chasing after something that you know you can't have, or something that's not possible, because then you don't have to worry about actually being responsible in that situation with, to, and for that person if you were to obtain it or them? And I think those are valid questions. And I think those are questions that we all need to ask ourselves every once in a while. And I feel like this week it's your turn. The universe is also challenging you. What's going on, Johnny? Nutslap, hi! So good to see you.
Okay, now Ann Palmer.
And I'm going to use the magic of you. We can do that. I'm still at a place where, aside from at night, I really don't get much time to myself. So if you guys could have seen me 15 minutes before this stream started, I don't know if you would have believed that it was me. I mean, so I'm going through my own personal things right now, but I'm here if you want to just message me or whatever. All right. And you got Avenoir. Make peace with your past. It's card number 1. Beautiful card. The rower sitting in her boat can only see from where she has come as she surges forward. When Avignard presents, it is time to gain perspective and an understanding of the role your past has played in the direction you are heading today. Are you able to appreciate the beauty of where you have come from and let that guide you into the future? Excuse me. Or are you focused on problems, mistakes, disappointments, and letting them forge your direction? As you strike out in the pursuit of more, Avignard reminds you to contemplate that more will never be meaningful and fulfilling until you truly embrace and unconditionally appreciate where you have come from and all of its purifying pain and gentle glory. Avignard is a healing card. It's time to make peace with your past, Anne. The girl in Avignard emerges from her journey along a dark, stormy sea, her hair still bearing the waves she rode as she was guided into this moment by her past. She trusts her gut. The tree of her life grows from her core experiences. Radiant and brave, she confidently faces an unknown future by anchoring herself in the present moment. In doing so, she embraces her life's journey without judgment. She does not regret the past nor fear its weight or legacy. She has learned to see it for what it is, essential to her growth. As you face your challenges today, embrace your past. Climb high, be brave and bold. Unconditionally, the past lifts you up. The tree of life is yours to climb, so trust it. And this is a really profound card, I think. And I think it's one that a lot of us can relate to. Yeah, beautiful. I'm sorry I keep playing with my hair, guys. I've been asking to be taken for a haircut for, I think, 2.5 years now, and there hasn't been time, so it's getting a little long. Okay, I don't drive, so no public transportation either. And I feel like what this is saying is not that it doesn't matter if your future is uncertain, but how many times in the past have you been uncertain about your future and you ended up just fine because the future is 1 minute after this minute, right? 1 second after this minute. Look, I'm in the future for when I started reading this card. So we never really know exactly where we're going, not at all times, right? I don't know what time the stream is going to end. It's things that are that simple. And then there are high 405er. And then there are things obviously that are so much bigger. But when we're constantly looking backwards, it's that old cliche of we'll trip moving forward and we'll end up stumbling into our future completely unprepared. Accepting that your past, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the heartbreaking and the challenging and the happy is in fact what got you to where you are today, good or bad, and made you who you are today. So without that acceptance of your past, and you're not going to get very far when it comes to your future. It's like you're going to be on the hamster wheel. I do feel a little bit more on this card. I do feel with this card, there could be people in your life who are trying to hold your past over your head. One mistake, there's like someone or a few someones that are holding on to this one wrong thing said, one wrong mistake. And when we're comfortable with our past, not only can we talk about it and accept it and move on from it, we also don't allow others to hold it over our head because we've personally made peace with it. Mike, I know, sweetie. I wasn't going to message you this week, though. I'm doing monthlies, so I figured I would send you that and talk to you then. And don't let anyone make you feel bad or guilty or any type of negative way about any part of your past. Because if they're in your life right now and you hold any meaning to them, they should embrace it with you and every single part of it. I meet people that once they find out I'm a recovering addict, they back away from me. And that's okay with me because I'm okay with the things that I've done. A lot of it's some cringe and pretty orky, but I'm still okay with it. And if someone else isn't, then I can never have that trust and confident relationship with them. Not to mention, most people that aren't okay with your past, my past, with other people's past, they haven't faced their own. And that's their own stuff to deal with. So anyone trying to hold you, accountable for 30 years ago when you said something inappropriate at the wrong time and hurt someone's feelings, like they've got to get over it and move on. This isn't so much about you. Okay, it is about you, but it's not so much about you as it is the people around you and really understanding who you're spending your time with and who you're going to allowing into your inner world. Are you attracting too many people that are judging you? what I would like for you to do this week is I want you to take a piece of paper and write down 3 past memories that when you think of them, stuff that you did, not that other people did to you or other people did. 3 things that you've done in your past, like from the time you can remember, like when you were born, right? That make you absolutely cringe or that make you feel so incredibly bad. And I want you to write them down on a piece of paper. And then I want you to get a fire safe plate and I want you to burn them and announce that you release them. You release yourself from their hold, you release them from your minds, and you release anyone else whom they may have affected. I really feel like that's going to be beneficial. All right.
Ready?
Jules, what's up, girl? Yes.
Smoochie and Meredith, and I'm going to step out for a sec.
All right, Miss Smoochie, let's go with the deep, dark, and dangerous. Yeah, I felt like that for a really long time, too. And then I started letting people in. It seems like there are some people who are supposed to be the closest people to me that treat me the absolute worst. When you know that someone is hurting because of your behavior and you don't change that behavior, that means you don't care about the person. So release them. And if someone feels that way about you, then they should release you. And if not, you release them. Jules, okay. I haven't even checked my email in like a week. I've got so much personal, like mental stuff going on right now, but I'm pulling myself out of it. And I'm hoping by Sunday I could be back to my usual chipper and happy, full steam ahead self. All right, Miss Smoochie, let's see. Woohoo! Rocking, rolling, and whatnot. Danny? I always hated her face. Danny? That's cool, baby. I'll try to remember to check them tonight. If not, it'll be tomorrow because I've got to work on more readings tomorrow. And I'm waiting for Brown Dwarf to get back to me about sending him some bulk items. Girl, I know every word, every nuance of that movie. Yeah. Grease is the word. Okay, so I actually did a 1-card pull for myself when I got this deck. Just to kind of get my energy off it so I could do some personals. And then I did a 4-card reading for myself with this deck. And this card came up, the first card, both times. Vixen Doe, and that happens too. You know, unforeseeable. When someone takes your choice away, it's the worst. You can still be in your power, though, honey. You can be in your power and refuse as best as you can to allow it not to affect you so much. And girl, I know that's hard. Believe me. People say to me, like, just go about your own business, you know, don't worry about what's going on with this one. And it's like, that's really hard because I'm the one that's constantly being the one sacrificing. And I'm the one that's constantly the one with my heart broken. And I'm the one that's constantly crying myself to sleep. So, you know, how do I do that while I have no choice but to be around this person now? And I get it. Yeah, I'm so sorry. If you need to talk further, I think I emailed you a while ago my personal cell phone number. You can always text me. I don't do phone calls. I can do video chats every once in a while, but I don't do phone calls because I used to get beat up every time the phone rang. I lived with a schizophrenic and it stuck with me for some reason. Like, phone bad. Like I said, if you knock on my door and I don't know you're coming, I will look out the window and be like, oh, hi, and turn and walk away because I didn't know you were coming. And I like freak. Okay. You got card number 2. It's a deep card. It's a card of freedom. The card, the Selki. Okay. Do you know what a Selki is, guys? It's another mythical being or creature. Let's hear about them. Yeah, Edna, you are so right on. You are so right on. Smoochie, you can only pretend for so long before you must find truth again. Seek authenticity. Containing yourself in a form that is not your own is rarely successful long term. Find what sets you free. Acknowledge your inner truth. Be aware someone may be deceiving you under false pretenses. Selki mythos is shared in the places where the sea is a truly dominant force and where colonies of seals live, like the Shetlands and other Scottish islands, and Faroes, Norway, and Iceland. I have personally, not me, the book author, read and listened to a lot of stories about Selki since I have a kin bloodline that is Selki central. The mythos of the Selki was something I dreamed about since I was small, and there are many versions of the Selki mythos, but most involve beautiful, haunting imagery of female shapeshifters, women who live in the body of seals, but who can transform into enchanting women who appear human on land. A typical Selki story is of a human man who watches a Selki playing in a cove. She, at times he observes, comes ashore for various reasons, dropping her skin and shapeshifting into a woman irresistible to him. Are you okay, honey?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm okay.
When her land business is complete, her land business, meaning the seduction of the man, she steps back into her seal skin and returns to the wild ocean that is her home. Remind me to make an announcement after this reading, after Mel's reading. The human man falls in love with this Selki woman and decides to wait for her to next transform her from her seal form. And when she does, to take possession of and hide the seal skin. So he wants to own her. It's a Selki's seal skin. If a Selki's seal skin is withheld, they cannot return to the ocean. Unable to find their seal skin, Selkies are adrift in the human world. They become reliant on the kind human, quote unquote kind, man who takes care of them and who begins to teach them the human way of doing things on land. Often the Selki and the human man marry and even eventually have children. But the wild heart of the woman is, of course, wedded truly to her life in the sea. She wants to go home. She yearns to be her true self again. Eventually, the Selki finds her skin and is reunited with her authentic form. Without a backward glance, she steps into it, allows herself to be enveloped by her true shape once again, and re-enters the aquatic world. Some stories tell of Selkies coming back every now and again to visit their children. Some say they never ever return to the world of men who contain them under false pretenses. Oh boy. Wonder why this showed up twice in two separate readings for me. And yes, there were male Selkies reportedly too. Incredibly beautiful in form and very seductive. It was said that these Selkies looked for lonely human women. Awesome, Smoochie. I love green in all of its shades. To fornicate with. Lonely fishermen's wives were said to be ideal targets. Rarely was there a story where a male Selki was parted from his skin like the females. So male Selkies seem to have avoided the trap of being made into someone's unwilling husband or lover for a time. Again, it seems human women and Selki females get the raw deal. The essence of the Selkies is the idea of the triumph of authenticity over pretense and containment. Also, the deep pull of the wild self. After all, if the Selkies got their true skins back, they did not hesitate to leave the human world behind, and that included even leaving their own children behind. Plant companion, only you. The bladder rack. I don't even know what that is. Crystal companion, opal. So, not opal light, by the way. Opal. So, Smoochie, you and I have so much in common personality-wise. Not Gemma, and it's not that Gemma's an authentic part of myself, or authentically me. Gemma's a part of myself that I feel if I were able to be who I wanted to be 100% and all of the time, it would be Gemma. You and me have a lot in common, okay? Personality-wise and in life-wise too, I feel. But I feel like what this is saying is someone is trying to trap you, or if they're not actually trying to literally trap you, they're trying to make you fit into their mold of what they think a woman of, like, say, your age or your occupation or in your position, whatever it may be. They're trying to make you fit this mold. And you're not having any of it. And I would say for this week, definitely beware of this person or these people who are coming in. I don't see them coming in this week. I feel like there could be like an inkling of them that you feel intuitively that like someone around you isn't behaving properly or acting the way they normally do. You get like this off kind of feeling, or maybe someone comes into your life, accidentally calls you on the phone and keeps you on there for like an hour. Somebody is acting off. And I would really watch this person, because I feel like the reason they're behaving this way is because you've inadvertently offended them. And now they're going to try and hold on to this tiny little thing that you did by accident and make it all about like that's who you are, like you're this offensive wild person, which you kind of are, but that's part of your charm, right? Don't let anyone change you, and don't let anyone lure you under false pretenses, and don't let anyone make you fit their molds. Okay, that's really important. And with one card, I'm not getting much more of a message there, but the energy that I'm feeling behind this message is really important, because I feel like if you fall for this person or this situation's BS, you're going to end up very sorry in the long run. I wouldn't allow anyone new into your personal space. Don't allow anyone new into your life right now. Take a couple weeks off before meeting new people, before getting to know anyone, okay? Because I feel like there's just like someone, I see them circling you like a shark. Like a shark circles a seal, actually, and they're like waiting in the wings to destroy you, to take you down a peg or two, to put you in your place, right? And those are the messages I'm getting, so be careful.
Beware, there's a
She goes, yeah.
lizard in your nest.
Yeah, Vixen Doe, absolutely. If they won't leave, you can have them removed, okay? Especially if that's your space, that's your property. All right. Who just came in? Lara, hi, baby.
I'm sorry.
Mel, no, I think I understand what's going on with you, but it'll be okay. I've never been brought down by other people's crap for long in my life. I get right back up. I'm a warrior. I was born to be one. So don't cry for me, because I'll be just fine.
You gonna do Meredith?
Yes. I'm gonna use the, I'm sorry, what?
I was just repeating what Smoochie said. Meredith.
Her new grandbaby's name is gonna be Gunnar Wolf.
I love that name. That's a great name.
I was like, so cool. Like, I can't.
I asked Dad, why didn't he name me Ghost Dragon? Ghost Dragon Davis.
I always feel so incredibly special when you guys send me pictures of like your family, like, and let me into your life in that way. That means so much to me. Like, I got to see a picture of Smoochie's grandson and her daughter and her, and Batmom sent me a picture. Do you know Batmom is also another one who's gorgeous?
Hi,
and it's
Batmom.
not that I don't think that you guys are gorgeous from your energy, but I see soul level, so I don't see what you guys look like actually physically. So when you guys send me pictures like Smoochie, I was like, how are you a grandmother? And like Batmom, I was like, holy crap. Like, I don't know. Your physical beauty matches your energy, and it's not often that happens, especially with females, and especially when they're around me, because they could have the most beautiful energy and be the most beautiful person, and then when they get around me, the jealousy, and this is not patting myself on the back, I hate it, but it's just been my life. It's like they change, and then you get to see the heart of a person. Does their energy change when they're around someone they feel uncomfortable about around?
Nutslap wants to know if it's
Nutslap, your soul is gorgeous. Every single person in here has a beautiful soul and a beautiful light. No, you guys really do. That's why we all come together like this. It's not by accident. I tell you guys all the time, when I started this channel, it was just me talking to nobody because I was lonely and was looking for interaction. I never dreamed that I would be like this, you know? I've seen some people who are pretty terrible Oh, I've always been a ham.
I
I just
know
never
that.
dreamed that people would take to me in this way because I was so used to females hating me and men always wanting something from me.
Well, I can do both for you if you need that.
That's part of the announcement. But let's get done with Merida.
Oh, okay.
It's you know,
Death.
it's not lonely for me anymore. My actual life is pretty lonely most of the time. But you guys like light a fire in me. You bring me alive, like my son does. You wake me up in ways that I'm not woken up in my personal life.
I like lighting matches under butts.
That mom, me too. I mean, it is the things that we've done, but you know, you grow out of that just like you should grow out of. Everybody, women and men, should grow out of that. Judging a book by its cover. Card number 5, and it is a card of gossip. Gossip may seem like harmless fun at first, just entertaining tidbits and juicy rumors, but it rarely stops there. Delicious becomes malicious before you know it, and reputations can be damaged beyond repair. If you're the gossiper, remember that it will always come back to bite you. Remember that a person who enjoys listening to gossip won't hesitate to pass it along. You can't expect your own confidences to be respected if you don't respect others. Light, choose your confidants wisely and promise never to betray them. Dark, if you are the target of gossip, step away from the situation. Do not retaliate. And Meredith, unfortunately, I do feel like you could be coming into a little bit of gossip as far as people talking about you, but also people talking about others to you. Now, if you're in a setting where you're like hanging out with your mom and you guys are, you know, making fun of someone, that's a completely different story. But I feel like for whatever reason, somebody, and I'm getting female energy, but it could be a man with a lot of female energy. But I'm now that we're talking about cattiness, and that's kind of what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like somebody is attacking your reputation, or is going to be, or calling into question your truth, something you said. They're like, oh, she's lying about that, just to kind of pull you away from your inner circle, your inner family. There's at least one friend, okay, Meredith, or loved one, who has a friend or loved one who is jealous of your relationship with the friend or loved one in common. And they're going to be whispering in that person's ear, okay? Also, look out for women like hitting on your husband too this week. Not that you have anything to worry about, I'm sure, but it's still annoying, and it's inappropriate for women to be doing that. All right. Put up your boundaries, let people know. Like, I've told several people, like, listen, I don't want to hear that about that person. Even people I don't like, because you know why? When it comes out that that person's talking crap about the other person, it's always, oh, well, Gemma knew. I'm like the first person to be thrown under the bus. And I feel like that could be you too. All right. So just let people know, like, hey, let's not talk about that. You know, let's talk about this, and like change the subject and make sure you get your point across. With Smoochie as your mom, I don't feel like you have any trouble getting your point across, honey. And if you do, I would just tell your mom to do it for you. Tell your mom to fight this battle. I do feel like there's like a relentless person who is trying to destroy your credibility or your reputation. And it is going to be detrimental if they succeed in certain areas of your life. Quick announcement. Ghostdragonzw is coming to New Jersey.
She's gonna make a Jersey boy out of me yet.
To meet me on October 26th for my book signing. That's a Wednesday. The book signing's from 6 to 9. It's a whole paranormal night thing. My mom's going to be there. I don't know if Damien can come because he turns 18 on the 9th, but I don't know if he can come in for the entertainment and just not drink. My oldest son and his girlfriend are going to be there. A lot of old friends I haven't seen in a long time are coming. And then whoever's already there and whoever's coming in for the event. My sister's working that night. So I'm going to try to go live at least for like a couple minutes. And if we can't do that, we're going to film a little bit of it and put it up for you guys to see and take a lot of pictures. I know. Wow. I know. I said it too. I didn't try to talk him out of it because I want him to come, but I do worry about that being such a long drive.
It's only 8 hours.
Yeah, I wish all of you guys can be there. But like I said, once I build my Gempire, all right, I've got like another year, I think, before I'm where I want to be financially and professionally. I don't think I'll ever be where I want to be professionally because there's always more I can achieve and attain. And as soon as that happens, either you guys are going to come and hang out with me in my beach house, or I'm going to be traveling and visiting you guys. Antonio, welcome.
I'm sorry, Chris.
That's okay.
Chris Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Mr. Jarvis.
Chris, I'm going to use Dark Mirror.
Jarvis is a great name because it sounds like a butler name. Jarvis, come here, please. I need a cup of coffee and a donut, please.
Like Jeeves.
Jeeves, Jarvis.
Oh, heck yeah, Jules. Heck yeah. Everybody in here. We all need to, we all are eventually all have to meet, I think, and just like get our group together, you know. And Anna, I feel the same way. You said I've lost my faith in humanity, Jules, not the creator. I feel like lately, though, honestly, it scares me. I have been losing my faith in, as far as my religious faith, just a little bit. And then every time I think it, I'm always like, I'm sorry, Jesus, because I love Jesus so much. But I've been losing faith a lot lately. And, you know.
I'll bring an extra halo.
So I'm glad I have Wednesday nights for you guys to bring me back to reality and remind me everything I have to be grateful for, at least professionally and personally too. 8 hours with other people is too long. Oh, he's coming by himself. He's driving by himself. That's the concern.
Yeah, I'll be fine. Done.
All right, Chris.
It'll be fun. Actually, that time alone will be good for me. You want to live with two other guys in a house all day long, 24 hours a day, talking about testosterone.
I lived by myself with 5 male roommates.
You know what I'm going through.
Been different. We were like the guy walks into the bar joke. We had the Jewish guy who could not touch any kind of electricity on Saturdays, so we had to like turn on. I put a toy and turned it on and threw it in the middle of his bed the one time because I knew we couldn't touch it to turn it off. It was funny.
Oh, you're so bold.
But also we couldn't eat like off his plates or he'd have to go bury them. Then we had my other friend who's a bartender and bar back, but he was like so super short that we would call him a midget or a monkey. He wasn't actually a midget, so it wasn't like we were being politically incorrect. Then we had the only African American in the house, my high school friend Chris, who's like this gamer, like just always wanted to be by himself all the time. And then we had the transvestite Daniel, and then Gerard here would come and go as he pleased, and he's like the heavy metal guy. And then there was me, like the drunk princess. And whoever I was dating at the time coming in and out. So it was definitely interesting to say the least.
You got to figure too. I have 2 spectrums on and I'm living in between. I've got a 20-year-old and a 90-year-old.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, the 90-year-old acts more like a 12-year-old.
Jarvis, this is an awesome looking card. Card number 4. Is this me? Check this out. I cannot recognize myself, but I'm still me. A dark fantasy female warrior with pale skin is enshrouded by a scanty spiked bikini armor. She holds a fanged bat hilted sword against a background of fire and ruin. I cannot recognize myself as I can't remember the road that led me here. How can I see the road ahead? This card is not about an affirmation, but rather a question. Is this me? Can I recognize myself? Maybe yes, maybe no, but for sure, I lost the road I once had the last time I stopped to really think about it. in my heart, I feel maybe like the high school girl that went to the prom. Now, there is no gender attached to my cards. So change it as necessary. But truly, I am now 45 and I weigh thrice. I feel my true self as the kid that wanted to play soccer with the Real Madrid. All this while punching numbers on an Excel file out in an insurance office. It is not necessarily something negative as a dream lost or corrupted. I could see myself as love is the most important thing in my life, but actually I have a very well-paid job that makes me travel and I sleep alone in hotel rooms. When did we last look at ourselves in the mirror? Do we like what we see? Make no excuses, because the choices which made what we are our responsibility. If an old dream is dead, it's time to dream anew. If the old dream is alive, it's time to go back to it. So I feel like you could be coming to a crossroads, Chris. Hey, Infinite, welcome. Chris, I feel like you could be coming to a crossroads. I don't know if it's hit you yet or not, where you're really looking back on your life and you're like, okay, what do I do next? And what this card is saying is, you know, what did you always want to do? Can you still do that? You know, if it was really, I find that at least one of our dreams as children, like things we really, really want to do, is one of the paths we could take. We all have 5 exit points. We all have 5 different paths that all lead to the same place, but it's how we get there. So I feel like you should really start thinking about what is it that you wanted to do and see which would be the most practical for you right now and which would be which would not be the most practical for you right now, but which would be the most fulfilling for you right now. Okay. You're going to receive an opportunity within the next week or 2, Chris, that's going to give you access to make one of those old dreams happen. And it can be an old dream. It doesn't have to be from childhood. It could be an old dream from 4 months ago that you kind of gave up on, or that kind of you lost your way on because you were doing other things. Whatever the case, the opportunity is coming in. It's presenting itself very loud and very clear. Could be an old relationship rekindling. It could be an old, you know, it's something you always wanted to do for a living, and now you finally have the opportunity to at least turn it into a hobby. I mean, this could be a lot of things. It's talking about going back to unfinished business, right? And reclaiming that space of, yes, I can, and not letting anyone or anything stop you. I feel like you are at a crossroads, and I feel like it could be really confusing, and it could be like, why am I feeling so unfulfilled? I love my job. I love my significant other. I got good health, but there's something niggling at you, like something's not right. And the reason is because of all 5 paths, it's like you're not on any of them right now, despite how good you might be doing. If that, I hope that makes sense. Again, I can only give the message. Sometimes I try to interpret them a little bit for you and bring it, but you know, ow, I can only do so much. I hit myself in the knuckle.
Really good. Here, kiss it for you.
Pam Smith, hi, sweetie.
Okay, we're doing Mr. Roberts next.
Well, Mike, deep, dark, and dangerous it is. Yeah. Spiritual is very separate from religious. Eris, thank you. Yes, very, very, very much so. For most people, certain religions only allow a degree of spirituality, if any, and that's the problem with organized religion a lot of the time. Do I go to church every Sunday? No. Would I go to church every Sunday if it wasn't the only day I got to get any work done? Heck yeah. Yeah, I would. I love my church. I love volunteering in my church. I love singing with my church. I loved, doing whatever I could at my church. I loved being there. But again, I don't drive. There's no public transportation. I have a 4-year-old in tow all of the time. And any spare moment I get, you can ask Ghost Dragons, I am working every spare moment. The other night, I did not work, and all I could do was sit there, and I was texting him. I'm like, I should be working right now. Meanwhile, I had such a bad headache, I could barely keep my eyes open. I had to have Ray make me something to eat because I couldn't stand up. And all I could think is, I've got to be working. I should be working right now. I should be working right now.
You know how I feel. I'm the same way.
But if I had it my way, I would. But that's for me. I have my spirituality every day, as well as, you know, my Savior in my heart. Do I get to focus more on spirituality? Sure. You know, do they sing Britney at my church? No. But we do sing like the top 40 of Christian songs. All right, Mike, you got, all right, and a lot of these are ancient, like mythology names that I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing, okay? But they do have like, so you got a deep card as well, card number 9, and it is the Guardians, the Cerberus. And I know that that is not properly how you pronounce it, but it's a 3-headed hellhound that I do recognize from some myth, but I'm sure we'll find out what it means. Develop strong and healthy boundaries, Michael. You should respect the boundaries of others as well. Not all places or people are for you or should be available to you. Exercise and expect loyalty. That's random. Exercise and expect loyalty. At the gates of the underworld lies a huge hound. He yawns 3 yawns, for he has 3 massive heads. The hound sniffs the air and turns languidly to see his master, Hades, walking toward him. The hound rises and stretches and happily rubs each of the 3 heads on his beloved master's body. His spiked tail wags. Hades pats the head of his guardian at the gates, knowing all will be well. Cerberus is watching. There is a saying that we don't deserve dogs, and I, for one, believe this is a fine truth, even if we are speaking of the hound of Hades, a hellhound. Cerberus is possibly one of the most written about dogs of any ancient world and appears in many stories, not just featuring his master Hades, but many Greek heroes. He is a dog with a job, and he guards the gateway to the underworld to ensure that none of the dead leave the realm. The most well-known myth about Cerberus is the story of him being taken from Hades by the hero Heracles as part of his 12 labors. Heracles killed his own wife and children after being made temporarily insane by the goddess Hera. After visiting the temple of Apollo at Delphi to try and work out how to make amends, Apollo instructs him to go to the king of Mycenae, Eurystheus, and serve him for a decade. The king hates Heracles and wants him dead, so he sets 12 increasingly impossible tasks for Heracles to complete. After Heracles is successful on the first 11 labors, the king decides to set him the task of bringing back the Hound of Hades to him as the 12th labor. Heracles has Hermes, a psychopomp that is a figure who can guide in the underworld, and Athena to help him. Heracles enters the underworld at one of the known entrances at Cape Taneron and proceeds to find Hades. In the earliest myths, Hades and Heracles fight for Cerberus. It is said that Heracles shoots an arrow and wounds Hades and subdues the hound with chains, dragging him to the surface. Later myths suggest Hades agrees that Heracles can take Cerberus with him, but only if he is able to subdue him without a weapon. Heracles wraps his lion's skin around the dog to hold him, and then grabs him by each of his heads and squeezes until he submits. I thought it was Hercules too, but no, it says Heracles. Once at the surface, at the temple of Demeter, Chinthonia, Cerberus is startled by the sunlight and vomits venom and foam bile all over the flowers at the exit, giving the plant aconite its poisonous nature. He struggles mightily, and Heracles manages to exhibit the hound to the people and cities along the way. Heracles is widely criticized for this because of his lack of humility and excessive pride. Finally, Cerberus is presented to the king and the labor deemed successful. Some say Heracles took Cerberus home, but more popular is the account that, like all good boys, Cerberus found his own way back to Hades and never left again. Plant companion, aconite. Crystal companion, obsidian. And I think I sent you some black obsidian, so should have that. That's a lot. Do you guys see what I mean? That's a lot. The 12 labors, Mike, that's standing out to me. Okay, I feel like you have passed so many of the universe tests just recently in getting out of a toxic relationship. Are you ideally where you'd like to be? No, but you can look around you and see that things are better. Okay. Coming into your spirituality and really trying. I feel as though what this card is representing is that it may seem as though, like, once one thing, it's like the next thing, like waiting for the other shoe to fall or waiting for the bomb to drop. It's like you're going about life and you feel like your life is like one big obstacle right now, right? But what the universe is saying, you are going to be the hero in the end of this story. You are going to be successful at manifesting your dreams, but you can't give up. You have to put one foot in front of the other. You have to ask people for help. Heracles would have never been able to subdue this hound without the help of, there were two others that went with him. I can't remember right now, but they were with him and they helped him. But it has to be someone you trust. I do feel, unfortunately, Mike, and I say unfortunately because I know you and I know, like, I can see your face, the reaction to what I'm about to say. It's going to get much harder. You're going to feel like you're walking through hell itself again and for the umpteenth time. But I feel like this is going to be your final challenge before you finally start manifesting the life of your dreams, a tiny little bit at a time, okay? Stay patient, stay focused, stay vigilant, all right? Do not give up. And, you know, all the trials and tribulations that are coming your way, they are leading to somewhere. And I would say by the beginning of next year, or the very latest, the beginning of spring, you're going to be able to clearly see where you're headed each step to get there, and you're going to be so happy that you persevered and remained faithful and true to yourself, to your own spirit, to your own chart and path.
Edna, if you just, when you write it, just let it flow. Gemma's really good about figuring it out and going with it. So just write it as it comes.
Oh yeah, guys. You have no idea. I'm a writer. It's what I do. So, I mean, people send me either their encounter stories or even just talk to me about life in general. And you know, when I'm doing encounter stories, for instance, I have to go in and I have to grammatically fix everything because I don't want it to sound like a jumbled mess when I'm reading it, and I don't want to embarrass the person who sent it. So yeah, please don't have hesitation. And some computers, or if you email me from your phone, you can actually use that voice to text and voice into the email and just talk it out. Go through. Sometimes it doesn't get every word. So go through and grab the words that you notice are off and send it to me. I don't care how long it is. I've gotten 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 page emails before, and I read every word. It just takes me some time.
She's next.
Mike, absolutely. Yeah, and I've got the Halloween deck in my sights for you. So let's do it. Guys, keep voting on Face of Horror. I'll try to get the link in there. Again, if you're on Facebook, use the 2 free votes if you can't or don't want to pay. Hi, Anonymous UFO. And if you're on Facebook, use, you know, the 2 free votes. And if you're not, use the 1 free. I can't pay for my own votes. So I also can't, for some reason, use the 2 Facebook votes, but I can use the 1 because it would be for myself. You're so welcome, and I know you do. See, there you go, Mike. Mike said, thank you, Gemma. I appreciate you. I'll keep fighting. When I try to talk to my son about certain things that makes him anxious, I tell him he's got to be the hero of his story. So it's fitting. Yeah, absolutely. Pam, I don't care about TMI in your personal life. I don't judge you. I don't hold it against you. And if it's backstory, you know, I know a lot of the time back story needs to be told. Paranormal Pixie, I would love to hear about it. I've had some pretty strange experiences myself lately. Not anything I want to say on this stream because I don't know who's listening, but I got some information confirmed for me. Like, we can't be psychic about ourselves. I can be intuitive about stuff, but Spirit finally came in and confirmed something that I'd known for a really long time but couldn't prove, and I still can't prove it, but now I know that I can believe it, and it's not just me being crazy. You know, it sometimes happens that way. And I know you got the graveyard, unnecessary fear.
The link in chat.
Thank you. And Edna, the stones, they mark the eternal resting place, yet the spirits, they are walking and they're ready for the chase. Today's modern graveyards are restful places, normally highly manicured and very well set out. Whilst they can be places of profound sadness, few are the creepy gothic places of old. And yet they still hold an undercurrent of fear and seem frightening places. Due to countless stories of haunted graveyards, the thought of walking through cemeteries evokes fear in many of us. We imagine zombies and ghosts rising from the graves and bad spirits hiding out, waiting to harm an unsuspecting living person who walks by. The idea of being at a graveyard after dark, or worse, at midnight, is the stuff of dares and or nightmares. But this isn't the way of every culture. On the Mexican Day of the Dead, whole families picnic on the graves of their loved ones who have passed. Children play upon the graves, people play music, drink wine, and share food, all in the company of the dead. Graveyard dust is used as an ingredient in protective spells, not in curses. I have graveyard dirt, and it can be used in either, but more often it's used in protective spells. So just to clarify that, pull this card and know that you fear unnecessarily. Things are not as they seem, and you can overcome your obstacles. The anxieties you have, although real, should be put aside before they haunt you long term. Instead, trust that you know the correct next steps and that you'll act upon them. So if you're not feeling any unnecessary fear right now, and trust and believe it's coming in the next week or two, something is going to make you feel panicky. It's a what if. What the universe wants you to do, nightmare, and what I want you to do as your friend and someone who looks up to you, I want you to remember that, okay, that it's only a what if. It doesn't have to happen. And remember, the more you dwell on the negative, the more the negative comes to you. Trust me, I'm the queen of that as well. There are situations where sometimes I feel we can't help, or we feel we can't help but dwell on it, when really that's not the case. It's just our go-to as human beings, the what if. So whatever this is that comes in that kind of shakes you to your core, I want you to remember that it's only one of several options, and you just have to put in place a plan, stick to that plan, and make sure it doesn't happen, whatever the case is. Yeah, ruh-roh.
I was waiting to see if Terminator T800 would answer because they're next, but I think they might have left, but I'm not sure. And Larry's after him. So, Larry, if you're still here, you are next after Terminator, or you will be next if he doesn't answer.
My stomach's growling because I have some white pizza with broccoli and garlic on it downstairs, and I'm like, yes, when it's someone I love, I think of all possible options. And it's okay to think of those things, right? But it's not okay to dwell on the worst possible option until it becomes a reality. For some reason, and I don't feel like that's something you normally do. Yeah, I think that like it's something you can easily get through and make sure it doesn't happen, as long as you remember that it's not actually the reality. It's only a what if. Larry.
Yeah, go ahead and do him.
Let's use energy and spirit. Shut up, stomach. You're so welcome. Yes, Mike, go do your thing, honey. Do you first. Make sure you feel better, all right? I appreciate you coming in. And I will hit you up. Hit me up when you get your box, okay? And when you're feeling better. Larry, you got Soulful Appreciation, card number 30, Heartfelt Gratitude in the reverse. When the appreciation card is reversed, the coins fall off the scale and the butterfly flies away. This signifies a cloudy personal energy. Maybe you're too distracted to recognize the wonderful things in your environment. Perhaps you tend to obsess about what's missing or wrong, making it impossible to notice the real value around you. That's basically what I just said. Or maybe a recent problem has taken you down such a sad or anxious path that it has become all you can see. If so, then this is precisely the time for an appreciation vacation. Start to integrate a new gratitude habit in your day. Appreciate an image, a favorite vacation spot, a lovely memory, a song, or a beloved friend or family member. Just for a moment or two, vacate your present problem or your habit of living in lack. Breathe deeply and choose to recognize something of value. This card's making me want to cry because it's also a card I feel very connected to right now. You will be happier, and your bright energy will shine for the whole universe to see and respond to. Your affirmation for this week, Larry: every day I notice all the little blessings around me. I am grateful for myself and for my life. So you may not even understand where this card's coming from right now, Larry. But I feel like this week, yeah, you are going to come into a situation where, again, just like I said to Edna, it feels like all is lost or everything's come crashing down. The scales are tipping in the exact opposite direction than they have been, okay? That's not the case. It's not going to take much for you to get this back on track. And I feel like this is coming in a few weeks from now, actually. So this week, what I want you to do is start with the gratitude list, okay? Write down either one thing, two things, three things in the morning. Do it at night too, okay? Of everything you're grateful for in your life. That way, hi, Miss Shelley. That way, anything that does come up like this, you're already in that habit of appreciating what's around you, and what or whoever this is not even going to be able to touch you, and it's going to be a non-issue. Now, if you don't start with the gratitude list or the appreciation vacation, you're going to have some problems in the coming weeks. And I do feel like it's going to be major, and you're going to be pulled right off the track that you've been on. And I'm honestly so proud of you, how far you've come, how gracious you always are, how kind you always are. A little on the crazy side, but aren't we all? And I just feel like you've come too far to let anything or anyone hold you back, Larry. Hi, Green Green. Okay, Anonymous UFO, we will see you in 12 minutes. I think Anonymous UFO may have been the Terminator.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I'm not sure, though.
They switch around. These guys come in and they switch names to mess with you.
All right, never mind. He's staying. He thought it was a different time. And Green Green, well, thank you.
Nightmare if he wants one.
Green Green, if you're new, let us know, and you can come up the list. My life's getting ready to change. I'm moving back to the mountains. That's an amazing thing. So don't let anybody put it in your head that that's the wrong thing to do. Okay? It's the right thing. You know that. We try to stay live until 11:15, but if I run out of readings, I end it because I'm Eastern time. So Anonymous UFO, why don't we do this? Why don't I do you next? Nightmare just passed. Jump in his spot. Okay. That way we can get you. That way when you have to leave, you can just go. And I'm going to use the Angels and Ancestors deck for you, hon. Green Green is new. All right, cool. Where'd you find us? Well, Anonymous UFO, I'm reading for you right now. All right. Signature required. Okay. I mean, I don't answer my door, but I will make sure to if I see like the mail pull up and they need a signature on something. So I appreciate you letting me know, because otherwise I never would have. Oh, cool.
If by some chance we don't talk tomorrow, which I doubt because I know you too well.
How is that going to happen?
Just remember, Britney's going to be at your door tomorrow.
Ooh, I didn't. Oh, I'm so happy about that. I did not remember.
You need to let me know that you get. I need to see everything that's in the box because I know it's supposed to be in the box.
Okay, yeah, of course.
It's all there because it took so long to get there.
You know, I'm going to put it on Facebook.
Oh, I know that.
So Anonymous UFO, and I know every week I'm drawn to this deck for you, and I'm like, I can't use the same deck every week. Anonymous UFO, you got the card of Hunter. Track down your fears and desires. Guys, I'm seeing a lot about fears, and I'm guilty too this week of really succumbing to them. I feel as though I have this fear, not only of failure, but of success. And, you know, that's why I waited 3.5 weeks to even get started on my website. Do you know what I mean? I'm afraid of succeeding because then I have to follow through with all the plans, you know, and my life is going to change so significantly once that business takes off that there's going to be no turning back. Okay. Anonymous UFO, track down all of your fearful thoughts and feelings. When you find them, you'll find your desires too. The Hunter card is based on my favorite, not my favorite, the author's favorite. And I hate when they talk about themselves. Celtic god Cernunnos. There's no soft C in the Celtic language, but I know a lot of people pronounce it Cernunnos. He is the stag god of the wilds and represents both the hunted and the hunter. Similarly, the hunter helps you connect with an energy that is both fearful and fearless. Your fears are the only things that are standing between you and what you desire at this time. So you have to come face to face with them as a hunter does with wild animals and go beyond them, hun. Instead of being hunted down by your fears or other feelings that you've buried, become the hunter. You're being given confidence and strength at this time, so use your power to make a difference. You are not here to cower away or live in the shadows. You are here to realize your fullest potential, but this can only occur when you step up and do what needs to be done. What's up, ufologist? When this card arises, there could be an opportunity to face an aspect of your past or bring closure to a situation that has been haunting you. If you are a man or identify as male, this card represents your masculinity and an opportunity to know yourself more deeply. If you're a female or identify as female, this card represents your capacity to be strong and powerful and overcome supposed limitations. I do feel like there's something coming up, a past fear, a past trauma, something that like all your other fears have been built atop. You know what I mean? And once you tackle this one thing that's coming in, or this one person, this one old relationship, whatever it is, it's like what started the whole thing. Everything else is just going to come tumbling down. But I feel like there's a fear element here. Like you don't want to turn and look back. You don't want to face this person or this relationship or this bad decision. It could be anything, but I am getting a strong sense of the past connected to this card for you. So what the universe would like you to do, especially for this week, is to accept everything as it comes. If you feel like you need to make amends with someone, that's probably because you need to make amends with someone. And if you feel like you need to ask for or offer forgiveness, that's probably because you do. I feel like you're really intuitive this week, more so than usual. And there's a reason for that. It's because this needs to be over, done with, finally buried, and you need to move on. You literally need to. I'm not telling you like, yo, you need to move on. Like you need to move on in order to progress further. I feel like you're being stunted by whatever this is, not because it's really haunting you, like physically, like causing any issues in your life, but mentally, spiritually, psychically, it's like it's got in there and just like dug a little hole into your brain, and now it's just on repeat. Okay. You can't run from who or whatever this is anymore.
You want to go ahead and do green?
Yes, let's do that.
And then we'll do Kai next.
Green, do you identify as male or female? Anonymous UFO, it's not about regular fear. It's about one thing that you feel messed up your life or messed up a dream or put you on a different path than the one you're supposed to be on. All humans can relate to that. Like, I hear you say that, and I feel like you're saying that I basically just gave you a reading that anybody could relate to, and that I'm not actually speaking directly to you, but I am speaking directly to you. And I would like for you to come back, if you wouldn't mind, in 2 weeks' time, and then tell me that I gave you a generalized reading. And I'm not trying to be mean or rude to you. I love that you came in, and I love that you got a reading, because most people come in and they just want to listen. But let me know how it goes for you. Green, female. All right. So let's use the Lantern Oracle. I don't use the Lantern Oracle too much for men because it is a deck geared toward women, unfortunately. I don't like when the authors do that. You're very welcome. Thank you for coming in.
We do appreciate it. Give it a try. You never know.
Yeah.
Failed me a couple times.
You're welcome. It's normal for like when it's only your first few times in here to be skeptical. I don't hold that against people, but I do get, my concern lies in I hope that you take the reading seriously, because it could be problematic to constantly be holding on to those types of things, because then you can't go on that actual path that you were meant to be on. Okay. Green, you got Eternal Gatekeeper. Acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right in front of you. And it's card number 32. This featured guardian has her eyes closed. She makes decisions according to her spirit self's guidance and not based on external or societal influences and expectations. As a spiritual warrior, she tunes into her heart's rhythm to hear and obey her spirit self's voice. Simultaneously, she allows and denies access to multiple facets of herself and life. She walks forward and into greater clarity while what is behind her further disintegrates. She deliberately co-creates her present with authentic intention by choosing to release herself from any reality that no longer serves her and by boldly stepping into what does. The Eternal Gatekeeper supports you in practicing your right to change your mind at any point. What and who you allow into your life and how far is always up to you. Something that is right for you now may not be in 5 months, years, or decades. This is perfectly okay. It is a natural outcome to instances where growth transpires in a different direction from another, an organization, or a circumstance. It's okay to say no to what you had once allowed. If your body, spirit, self, and emotions are a no, your heart's truth is no, despite any protests of logic. It can be challenging to do right by your authentic truth, especially when it is not convenient and does not make apparent sense. However, the consequences of saying your authentic no or yes may not be as catastrophic or as risky as you fear. If they should be, you are not obligated to justify yourself. You always get to choose how much access a person has to the domain of your heart, mind, body, energy, and personal space. This is your inherent birthright. It has no exception. You are always free to invest in and withdraw from anyone, anything, any activity, or any place at any given time. It may be a time when choosing again in areas that you are off your mark proves particularly pertinent. Check in with how aligned you are with your spirit self's truth. To recognize and take responsibility for making authentic and empowering choices is a gift to spirit self that keeps giving. The power and strength in seeing things for what they are and acting on them by making the right choices for you are fourfold. While a person, opportunity, or situation might be attractive and look good on paper, it will have adverse effects if it is not a good and true fit or right timing for you. Oh my goodness. These are resonating so much tonight. Close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, and listen to your spirit self's truth. It is okay if it does not match cultural and societal norms. What is not right for you will never magically become right for you just because it seems as though it should become right for you. The Guardian's message here is that every moment is an opportunity to choose again. To live in alignment with the light of your heart and spirit self is the greatest gift you can give to yourself and to the world. Girl. I had to look and make sure. Girl. Okay. I feel as though there is at least one situation in your life that you are seriously regretting. And if you're not, these are weekly readings. So by the end of the week, you definitely will be. Okay. Whatever or whoever this is that is filling you with this regret, this, I'm going to give you an example. And this doesn't mean this is your situation. It's just an example. Someone who has been engaged for 5 years. They finally set the wedding date, and the night before the wedding, they're really feeling like this is a terrible idea. But you can't call off the wedding now. Your parents have already paid for it. Everybody's invited. You paid for the cake. You've got this beautiful dress. You can't possibly call it off. How crazy is it that we women do that, right? Or a lot of us would do that. I know I would be like, oh my gosh, I can't. I've got to spend the rest of my life with this man who I definitely don't feel a connection with anymore because I already paid. My parents paid for this wedding and I want to wear this pretty dress. Something like that, where you feel as though it is going to cause so much poop for you to pull back now. But guess what? If you really feel deep down in your gut that something is wrong, not right, or no longer for you, you need to make that decision, stick with it, stand by it, and whoever walks away from you, guess what? They're not as supportive as you thought they were, and you don't need them in your life. The people who matter are going to be the ones who stand by you and who say, girl, let's just eat the cake together and you can wear the dress and while we go on your honeymoon together, right? Like, those are the kinds of people that are going to stick around. And this could be a way of spirit in the universe, weeding out these toxic people who are going to push you into terrible decisions that you no longer resonate with, into spending time with people that you no longer feel comfortable with, simply so that somebody doesn't lose out on money. Again, that's not the case, but that's the best example of what I'm talking about and what I'm singing for you that I can possibly give you. You are really questioning something. Or again, when I say you are, it means you got a whole week. This is coming in or it's already happening. You're really questioning something, but you don't know who to turn to and talk to about what you're questioning because there's like a lot on the line, or you feel there is. What is more important than one's soul? If your soul isn't resonating with what or whoever this is, who cares what a human being thinks? Who cares what someone outside of you thinks, honey? Oh no, you have to make this decision, turn it around and stick to it. And those who care about you and who really care are going to be there. And those who don't won't. And while that's painful and heartbreaking to lose sometimes lifelong friends or even family members, guess what? It's their loss. It's not your loss to lose someone who doesn't care about you enough to support your soul felt and heart-wrenching decisions in the first place. It's already going on. Okay. Well, I also do full personal, 7 to 12 cards. They usually last between 30 and 45 minutes. So email me at GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com if that's something that you're interested in. Get some more information. Dargo, hi! Yeah, about a month or so, but who's counting? You haven't been here in 4 weeks. I don't know if it's actually been 4 weeks. I'm only joking with you. I think I've spoken to you since then, though. You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Okay. Eris. And then I'm going to back out one more time. Then when you go on break, I will guard the station.
Well, I was going to say after you, once you get back, I'm going to take a potty break.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Eris,
you.
Sure. I'm going to use Mythical Goddess. He thanks me because like you guys know I don't actually have him in a basement, right? I have my Hecate Keys necklace that Mike gave me, and I'm going to be, while it's cool out and it's not too cold, I'm going to be trying to get the office done this week for myself. It's something I have to do for myself. It's not going to be done for me. I'm the only one who cares enough about it, basically. So I'll be able to get to all of my other necklaces and jewelry and everything that you guys have sent me that I haven't been able to use, in some cases, years. Pam, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right about that. The Bat Mom, yeah. And I've started telling myself recently that if I could just stop having expectations, I can stop being disappointed. But it's a lot easier said than done. I wake up in the morning determined not to give a crap. And then I'm overwhelmed and I'm like, I should have help with this. I should have support in this. And I don't. And then I get disappointed all over again. So it's a constant never-ending cycle for me right now. But people are like, go into relationships without expectation. And I try. And all we can do really is try, because as human beings, that's not who we are. All right, Eris. So you got Callie. It's the card of death. Kali, the fierce ancient Hindu goddess, is the very power of death and resurrection. She devours time and transcends all form. She brings massive and total transition. Kali is the dancing goddess who has the power to destroy all life, and yet is the liberated deity who is free from all attachment and form. Kali's uncontrollable force of destruction heralds massive and often sudden transformation, bringing ultimate freedom from the human condition. Her red tongue consumes all, and the lifeless heads that adorn her symbolize the destruction of ignorance and beginning of wisdom. The severed head in her hand symbolizes the disconnect from false knowledge and illusion that results from addiction to the world of form. Callie assists you in facing your fear of pain and loss, that you may be free to receive her protection and move forward. During times in your life when it seems your world is coming to an end, Callie provides the constant reassurance that through the Scorpio cycles of death and destruction, of outmoded form, rebirth comes. Through the shedding of what no longer serves you comes ultimate freedom. And I mean, that's the truth, isn't it? Through the shedding of what no longer serves you comes ultimate freedom. Death in tarot and oracle actually mean the death of something, right? The winter of something. Something is coming to an end. This is something very big coming to an end. It could be a relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a job. It could be just a cycle of your life, right? Eris, it doesn't matter how badly you don't want things to change. Once the universe has once the universe has something else in store for you, that's what it is. And it's usually because you charted that for yourself right before you came into human form. The only advice that I really see coming in for you is to do your very best to accept the changes as they come. Again, don't worry about what will happen next. Just, watch and learn and take every single day, one step at a time. Again, not to be cliche. Eris, there is a big major ending coming in for you. But I feel like if you can approach this through the eyes of knowing that this is meant to be in your life, regardless of what your human mind and your human heart and your thoughts and feelings tell you, knowing that, on a spiritual level, on a soul level, this ending had to happen in order for you to spiritually ascend, it might make it a little easier for you. It doesn't matter if you rage against it, fight against it, cry against it. It's going to happen. So I would start preparing. And I feel like intuitively you may know what I'm talking about here. And it could already be that you know what's coming in new to replace this, whatever it is that's dying off and whatever's done with. You need to walk away from people, places, things that no longer serve you. And you need to really be in your power in order to do so. You're so welcome. I knew you were someone that I knew already. So Anonymous UFO is menial. Later, Anonymous. Guys, I need like 5 to 7 minutes. And I'll be right back. So nobody go anywhere. All right. I'll be right back, guys.
No problem. We got you covered.
I know you do.
I hope so. Hello, Miss D. I got you on the list. If you plan on not staying around, let me know and I'll take you off the list. Okay, Gerard, are you still here, bud? While we're just relaxing here for a minute. Catch you see who's here and who's not here. Okay, I don't know if he's still here. Eric, you still here, Eric M? Because you'll be next. And then Nut Slap. So if Eric doesn't show, Nut Slap, you will be next. So how's everybody doing? I'm okay. It's been a weird couple of days. I hate going under the anesthesia. They always seem to mess with me for a couple of days. My voice comes and goes. That's why I'm using the mic tonight. Still kind of, but I've been cranking the last 2 days trying to stay busy, get back in the groove. Okay. Latro. Hope to see you soon. Thanks for stopping in. Do appreciate it. Oh, I've been resting. I mean, all they did was go down my throat and mess around a little bit. Hit the esophagus, check a few things, take a couple biopsies, see what happens. Still waiting. I'm not too worried about it. There's other things I worry more about than that. I'm doing really good, though. I am really doing good. That's a good close-up review. Went cheap tonight. I was just going to wear a turtleneck and say screw it. But I like showing up for her in a tie. Because I'm such a nice guy. Yeah, that's what I had, Dargo. But they do more than that when they go down. There's a lot more that goes on when they go down and check. But yeah, it's basically what they do. Thank you, everybody. You know, when I said in Facebook that love It heals everything. I meant it. You guys, I felt your love. I was a little nervous going in Monday. There was some things going on I had some concerns about. But he was surprised. He said everything looked great. He said, whatever you're doing, keep doing so. We're just waiting for the biopsy on the one. And well, I think there was two. Nothing I worry about. Like I said, I have other things I worry about more. Yeah, Ghost Turtle. No, don't call me Ghost Turtle. Turtle. Oh, thanks, Lotus. Yeah, I try to be as best I can be. I'm just as like anybody else. I've had my good days and I got my bad days. Yeah, it did go good. I mean, that's just when they go down there, they just don't go down there and look. They get the knives out, and it's. But I always do really good. Come right back. By tomorrow, Friday, I'll be pretty much back to annoying my dad and him annoying me. So. Hey, UFO, if you want to go ahead, I can slide you in there if Eric and Nutsup don't mind. That way you can get back to work or do whatever you're doing. I'm good if they're good. I got my water.
Whoops.
Thank you. I like being small.
You are not small.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's next?
Love is very powerful. I was saying I'm checking to see if Eric showed up, but we're going to go ahead and do a UFOologist, so they can go. They're at work, I think.
Yeah. All right. We're going to use Wisdom of the House of Night,
and then we'll do Nut Slap. Did you enjoy your break?
I did. It was a good pee. All right. Playful.
I had to go get a pillow for my butt because I'm not sitting in my game chair. I had to take a break from it.
Card number 44. Who is this for again? UFOologist?
UFOologist.
Okay. I need to grab my water after this. It's right there. Too much Red Bull. My child, life is not always so serious. Choosing this symbol means it's time to lighten up a bit and be playful. No matter what you're asking about, this is time to have a good sense of humor. Smile and go do something fun. Life has a way of answering all questions when you're not looking. Wouldn't it be better if you were just enjoying your life rather than sitting around waiting for what you want to happen? Don't take yourself so seriously. Lighten up, be playful. Know that when this symbol appears in your life, the fun is about to start. So it sounds as though it's telling you to go out and have some fun, but really what's going on is the fun is going to come to you. I feel like you may be focusing on, it's not really saying be irresponsible, but it's saying you might be focusing too much on serious things and not allowing for play. And as human beings, we need to laugh and we need to have fun and we need to be social. And I feel like this card is just telling you that if you have domestic pets, play with them. If you do what makes you happy, it doesn't mean you have to go out and have a full-blown vacation, but it does mean, laugh at the silly things that happen that you have no control over instead of getting, so angry about them. If that's what you do, or getting frustrated or, ready to throw in the towel. I'm very quick to anger in certain situations. That's why that's the first thing I thought of was like, don't be so quick to anger. But I feel like you should be laughing at the little stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff. And I feel like you're going to have an opportunity this week or in the coming few weeks. I would say this week, though, to get out and do something fun that you wouldn't have otherwise done if you weren't invited. So accept all invitations for fun, of course, without being irresponsible. And this is a great card. It's not really too deep. It's not really too intricate. It's basically telling you need more fun in your life. And just like with everything else, the universe is going to provide a way, but it's up to you whether or not you take the opportunity.
1 second. Okay, Nut Slap.
All right.
Mr. Nut Slap.
We're going to use the Secret Oracle. Card ain't lying. They almost never do. I haven't seen them do it yet, but you're so welcome. What do you seek, Nutslap? It's a great question, right? Guys, don't forget super chats are on, or you can donate for your reading to my PayPal or Cash App, or just donate in general if you can. I don't want anyone. I've been told I might be making people feel guilty. I don't ever want anyone giving me anything that they don't have to give. I will always find a way. I have help. So if you have it, I'd appreciate it. If not, I'm here for you either way. Money is not my bottom line when it comes to these readings. This is why I do them. Is it nice? Yes. Does it help at the end of the month? Of course, but it's not my bottom line with the one cards. Okay. All right, Nutslap. We are all participants on a journey that is life. Do you ever wonder why you exist, or if you have a greater purpose other than moving through life from one day to the next, working every day to pay the bills and provide for self and family? To know the answer to that question, you first have to know yourself. What's important to you? What interests and excites you? What do you want to accomplish in life? What gives your life meaning? Are your beliefs your own and founded in fact or in fiction? You won't know if you've never asked, and if you don't know, you could find yourself being led down a path that you are not meant to walk. Go within, explore the inner workings of your mind, look to your past and what it reveals, observe and make a note of your emotional reaction to different experiences and situations in the present. Learn what your weaknesses and strengths are. Look to your beliefs and determine whether they serve you or if they serve others. It is not unusual to find that the asking reveals both answers and more questions. With every question, you learn more about yourself, and by knowing yourself, you will know what to seek. Thank you, ufologist, to live a life of meaning and purpose. There's no wrong answer. There's only your answer. And guys, this is what I mean when I talk about being consciously aware of your emotional vibration daily. Okay? This is what I'm talking about when I bring that up to you guys. And whether your feelings, your emotions are positive or negative, it's still good to always be aware of them. Okay? To understand, like, hey, like, whoa, I am really pissed right now. What just happened? And why did that make me so angry? Now, obviously, sometimes people do things that really piss us off, but sometimes it's like the little things. Like, I wake up in the morning and I see, keys and work pants and work boots and toys, either on my kitchen table, my dining room table, or surrounding it. And it drives me nuts. And I get angry. Instead of just getting frustrated and being like, can you stop doing this? I get angry. Now, my reason is because for 5 years, I've been asking, can you please stop doing this? And I would rather the person say, no, I'm not going to stop doing it. It's something that I absolutely must do, and it doesn't matter. But I have to stop and ask myself, why did that seemingly small thing make me so angry? And it's not just about anger. Again, I'm using that as an example. So about really understanding where you are emotionally in the moment. That's what being consciously aware of your energetic vibration means. Understanding what you're feeling in the moment and why you're feeling it, especially when it's an extreme emotion. I feel like you could be questioning certain decisions you've made in the past, or really having a hard time like procrastinating with decisions that you need to make right now, whether it's one, the other, or both, the answer is already inside of you. Okay. As I said last week, hi Diesel girl. Hi Miss D. As I said last week, everything in the universe, every possible option for every single choice is already out there. We just have to get to it and grab it for ourselves. My beach house, it's already there. I've already accomplished it. It's just so and so far in the future, depending on what I do now, if that makes sense. And clutter and mess stress me out. Yes, that's a main thing with me. Stress, clutter, it really gives me stress, and that's not unusual in my case for recovering addicts to feel very out of control when there's mess. But almost all the women in my family, on my mom's side, are like that, where we're like, no, that belongs there, that belongs there. Not to an obsessive degree, only because I have a 4-year-old, and obviously like things don't stay neat and clean, but I expect a certain level of cooperation from the adult in the house, which I don't get. So therefore it's something that is being done to me. But as far as like things just happening and you go into those extreme emotions, you have to step back and ask yourself why. Maybe part of a picture.
Okay. That was no slap, right?
Yes.
Okay, 405er.
405er. Let's do Sacred Hags.
Wow.
I just looked up and saw that, and I was like,
Yeah,
wait, what?
wow.
What's happening?
Are twisted. Optical nerves are twisted. I think I got an ear going on me.
A what?
An ear. My right ear is finally going. I think that's why I keep getting ear infections.
Yeah, that mom, exactly. I'm told constantly that I'm mentally ill and there's something wrong with me. But in actuality, I've had psychiatric and psychological evaluations, and there's nothing wrong with me except anxiety caused by the situation. Being bamboozled and feeling hopeless a lot of the time. All right.
Heather.
I'm sorry?
Heather Nikki.
Hi, Heather. No, that's okay. You're good. Long as you get your name in by 10:30, we're happy. Cool. You got the fairy pool baptism. Card number 47. All right, 405er, come to the water with me, my child. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by what an ancient remedy that holy and cool element can be. Where shall we go? We might wade just a bit in a muddy mountain stream after a good rain, or perhaps we shall find the sweetest renewal in a waterfall, or the greatest grief medicine in that old grandmother called the sea. Water spells bring us closer to our sacred sensuality and to our erotic innocence. When we forget our more instinctual souls, when we get lost in the muck of reason or blinded by the light of too sterile social proprieties, we must go to the water and ask for a blessing. She will abide, that hallowed liquid. We are her kin, after all. So water and tarot, and I've learned in Oracle as well, basically has you dealing with emotions. Okay, now this deck is specifically geared towards spells. I don't read the spells out because I'm not casting spells, and I'm not going to give spell work to people who don't know how to do that, who don't know the way to do that safely. So I'm going to go with this as dealing more with emotion. Not to mention, I'm a water sign. You're here. You're allowing me to bring you messages from your guides, your angels, your ancestors, and the seer. So part of this has to do with you getting a message from me tonight. Okay, 405er. So that's the universe telling you whatever else you thought you should be doing tonight, or whatever else someone else wanted you to do, not just tonight, but any other Wednesday. You're right where you're supposed to be in life and right now. Okay, at this moment. Hi, Salvador. Nice to see you. I'm trying. Just give me a second because the messages are coming super fast.
They love you so.
Okay, so a baptism, a washing away of the old, a cleaning, a cleansing, a spiritual cleansing too. Okay, this card is definitely representative of that. Now, again, we talked about this earlier. This is not about religion. This is about your spiritual self needing to be cleansed, to be rejuvenated. All right. And it doesn't have to be by water. Baptisms are by water, but this is not a literal baptism. It's a spiritual cleansing. All right. There is something either you're doing or that someone's doing to you that is detrimental right now to your spiritual growth. If you don't know what I'm talking about, give it a week. Okay. I tell everyone that. Give it a week or two max, right? I feel like you really need to hold your ground, stand your ground, understanding where the other person is coming from. That's okay, but that's not the point. The point is to understand where you're coming from and why, like I just said to Nut Slap. You definitely are in need of a spiritual cleansing. I feel like you can just talk out loud to your guides. That would be enough, okay? Do it before you go to bed. And then whether or not you remember the dream that you had, you're going to be healed a bit. Missing soul pieces keeps popping in as well. You've been through some trauma, perhaps some abuse, but definitely some traumas in your life that caused you to lose these tiny little pieces of yourself. And when that happens with our soul, the light escapes. The soul is light, but when I envision it in my head and when I'm shown it, it's this black silhouette, like a shadow person. And when the soul pieces, I see them flying off, I see the light escaping, which means you're missing part of your essence, honey. And I feel like that's the reason why things may not be going as planned for you. I feel like if you get back to basics, just talk out loud to your deceased loved ones, to your guides, ask for that guidance, and they're going to bring it in the way that they see fit. You might not, again, it might be through a dream that you don't remember. You'll wake up feeling more refreshed. Don't let yourself be easily manipulated. I feel like it's like these little things that you keep caving to, okay, for someone. Your grandma wants you to drive an hour to mow her lawn, but she doesn't want to help you with gas money or pay you for the job. And all she has to do is pout her little grandma face, and she knows you're going to come running and you're going to make it happen. Little things like that. A significant other that knows that you don't eat sushi, but they're going to cry and whine and pout like you don't care about them if you don't take them for sushi and like watch them eat it so they can have it. Things like that. It's the little things, but all these little things keep adding up with this person or with this situation where you may have to ask yourself, do they really care about you or what you can do for them? All right. And that is the question that's on my mind right now with you. So I don't know what or who that is, but it's toxic.
Okay, I was trying to find out if Mrs. D was new here. She's not? Okay.
She's way back from
That's what I thought. I thought she was.
The name was different. It's like Bushcraft D, and there's a few different names, but Miss D is an oldie but a goodie. She's
okay.
Way from the campfire stories and the fireside chats.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Jules, are you still here?
If not, Jules will be back. So let's wait for her. I'm going to use Alice in Wonderland.
I'll write down the time.
Just in case. I think she might still be here though.
That's fine. I'll go ahead and write down the time and put it in the comments.
Dude, I reveal so much of myself to you guys because, as I always say, I don't, I talk to my son face-to-face throughout the week. That's literally it. Oh, I talked to the guys at the, when I went to the mall yesterday, I talked to the guys working at the cheese restaurant when I got my macaroni and cheese. But that's about it.
Who's here?
I thought so. You don't usually just leave like that. Mortality. Card number 42. And it says life is brief, bright, beautiful, and yours to live. And it's card number 42 in the upright position. If that there king was to wake, added Tweedledum, you'd go out, bang, just like a candle. I shouldn't, Alice exclaimed indignantly. Life is, as Tweedledum points out, a strange thing where we can go out in just a moment. None of us knows how long we have, and no matter what we believe or tell ourselves, we are all mortal in this form. This lifetime is just one brief, bright jewel. For jewels. Alice denies this, but it's the truth. We're all mortal and we all pass. We must know this so we can hold on to the precious gift that is this existence while we have it. When this card comes, it does not mean you're about to pass. It is not a card of death, but a reminder of the beauty and the fragility of the existence, of this existence. It urges us all to take this life and make it as beautiful, as meaningful, and as full of adventure as we possibly can. Too many of us live as if this life is a burden, awaiting another lifetime or a heaven, which will save us from the difficulties and challenges of being mortal. Instead of living as if there is forever or a better place to go, or as if other lifetimes or existence in the afterlife will be better, live like this life is all you have. It's not, by the way, but we should live like it's all we have. Live like this is the very best you can ever experience. Live like this is the greatest blessing, the most treasured gift you could have ever been given. Life like this life is heaven, and your very existence is a miracle of creation. Because we can and we will go out like a candle someday. And when that takes place, the only true measure of a soul is what we did here with this priceless gift of human life. So your divination, appreciation of existence, relishing being alive, making the most of every moment, accepting mortality in ourselves and in others, living in the present, feeling joy at being alive. I don't want to call you out, Jules, but I feel like you could be or are about to be maybe going through a depression. And I always hope that when it's something like that, that you're already going through it so we can get you out, right? Not that it hasn't come in yet. And then by the time it does, the community here has already moved on to next week, right? There's something that's really bothering you that's going on in your life. And you're probably asking the why me question. Like, why? Like, if this one thing would just change, and I'm, again, guilty of this too. If I only had a stable amount of income coming in, right? That's mine. So if you only had this one thing, then everything else would be glorious and everything else would be able to fall into place. Never works that way because there's always the next thing, right? There's always the next thing. And I feel like this card, Jules, is just a reminder to you of that. And again, counting your blessings, understanding that while we're here, this is all we have. Whatever this is that's bringing you down the path of wishing for something better. And I'm not saying you should never wish for better in your life. Obviously, I'm not saying that. But I feel like whatever is bringing you to this place of if only, you should really examine it, that emotional vibration, consciously aware of it, and bring yourself back to the reality of that's okay. No matter how great it would make your life, you don't have it. So what can you do with what you have? Making the most of what you have, making the best of what you have, appreciating what you have. Because your life, no matter how horrible you think it is a freaking fairy tale to someone else. In most cases, okay? I know people live in abuse and addiction. I don't mean that, what's the word I'm looking for? Callously, to take away from anyone who's living that way.
Okay, Laura. Miss Pixie. I feel weird. I just had my beard all nice and fluffy.
Yes, you did. I didn't even notice. I'm sorry. I didn't see you close up enough today.
I was shaving and I had a trimmer and hacked a bunch of it off. And it was like, no!
That's what happened to my eyebrows. Only I didn't have a trimmer. I had one too many drinks. Yeah. But we didn't get to talk like we normally get a few minutes before stream. But RJ was pretty rough to handle today. So I his punishment was not being able to hang out and play with ghost dragons while I got ready. And I didn't get a chance to interact with you much before stream, only for a minute or two. And I didn't even see you up close enough to realize that you shaved.
Yeah, I didn't want to, believe me. It looked pretty bad. I couldn't leave it.
Jules, absolutely. It didn't look bad. It just didn't look you. You know, as we've come to know you.
I want to grow it back though. It's almost Christmas and everybody likes the fluffy beard at Christmas.
All right, Miss Lyra.
I was bummed, man. I missed this, doing this, trying to look all intelligent.
Wizardly.
Yes.
Nah. All right, Lara, you got the card of intention.
Yes, she did let me out to play today. She even gave me a really nice waffle sandwich.
Lara, this card shows a woman holding a vessel of water. Her gaze is directed and purposeful as she steadily pours the contents into the ether. She hovers on a starlit background of blue and aqua, the colors of the throat chakra, which represent communication and clarity of thought. Water has the capacity to shapeshift form into liquid, vapor, or solid, depending on which atmospheric conditions are present. Just as the atmosphere shapes the form of water, so too the power of intention activates and shapes your reality. Indeed, all creation is driven by the power of intention. Drawing this card prompts you to contemplate your aims and intentions. Be clear that they accurately reflect your feelings, thoughts, and spiritual aspirations, and think deeply as to whether they are honorable and worthwhile. Reach for your highest potential. Events may not always manifest as you wish, but the purity of your intent will be recognized and accounted for in accordance with the laws of cause and effect. As written in the King James Bible, quote, as you sow, so shall you reap, end quote. So may the harvest of your wise intentions be bountiful. All right, Miss Lara. I am feeling again the water is signifying or significant about emotion. The ebb and flow, letting emotions go and then letting them go, right? Getting them out. 20 minutes before the stream, I was bawling my eyes out, but I was okay. I let it out and I let it go, right? I feel like this could be something of a warning to not allow something to affect you so deeply that it pulls you off your purpose, your intention. You're very spiritual. You're very gifted. So I feel like for you to be pulled off of this intention or pulled away from this intention might be a purposeful thing by some lower vibrational entities surrounding you, or energies, meaning other people's energies, okay? Stay focused on the intention. Stay focused on what you intend to do, what you intend to be, what you intend to, whatever. Do not lose focus of that, Lara, because I feel like with your gifts and abilities, not that you're more special than anyone in here, just you have some more spiritual gifts that you're aware of and that you've honed and worked on, right? Like me, a little bit. You know, we have different gifts, but pretty much the same. I feel like this is for the good of the collective, okay? Whatever this is, whoever or whatever you're helping, whatever you're helping with, whatever this intention is set on accomplishing is going to be so important to the collective as a whole and to the people around you, this community I'm getting. So it's really important that you don't pull your attention away, allowing your emotions to get the better of you and pull you off course, okay? I hope that makes sense. Yeah, and you know what deja vu moments are just you're remembering when you were still in spirit and writing out or divining your chart, okay? Deja vu moments are actually really good because it's your soul's memory of you're right. It's like, oh, you're right in the exact space where you're supposed to be right that second. And then you're not allowed to hold on to it and it goes away, you know? it's important, hun, that you don't allow yourself to be taken away from this. And I think now that you know, you're going to be more vigilant. I also would recommend, I'm sure this is something you do regularly, but I don't care how recently you've done it. Please do it again, a cleansing of your home, of yourself, of your sacred space, maybe a cleaning of your altar, clear your crystals out, or cleanse your crystals out. And property protection, I see something lurking on the periphery, a very bad energy lurking, trying to find a break in the protection. And if you don't have protections around your home, then that means they're lurking right around your home, not around your property. Okay, so put some protections in place. You could be being spiritually attacked, and I don't say that to scare you, and I don't think that does scare you, because I think you know how to handle that.
Okie dokies. You're going to do Shelley Montgomery and Lisa Pascal. Are you new? Hi, Evan.
Hey, Evan. So nice to see you too. Shelley, do you mean you're just listening, like you don't want a reading, or do you mean you're here just listening? I didn't see
that too.
Anyone else come in.
Yeah, Lisa Pascal. Excuse me, Pascal.
Lisa, either Pasquale or Pasquale.
Yes.
Hello and welcome. I'm pretty sure that's a new name. I think I remember that one.
She said she knew. If you want to go ahead and do her.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. Let's go with, we're going to use the Oracle of the Mermaids for you, Lisa.
And then Shelley said she would take a reading, so we'll do her
cool.
Next. If that's all right, Shelley.
Keep pulling my hair.
Don't pull your hair. I pull enough of my own out for everybody.
My hair is
okay.
I got that.
When I come Thursday, I take you to get your hair cut.
All right, that sounds good. I don't want to cut it. I just need a little bit of a trim, and I want the side swept bangs back. But I feel like ever since I got that OGX coconut and caffeine, it smells like coffee, shampoo and conditioner. Even the drain doesn't have hair in it anymore. Like it's it's really good. It's worth it.
Coffee for the hair too.
Yeah, caffeine. It's good for your face too. Yeah. All right, Miss Lisa, let's do this. Air, breathing deep, entering into life, exchange of life-bringing energies, and immediately I got overthinking. We're in a retrograde, so that shouldn't be too much of a surprise, at least not to most of us here. Do you know what, Evan? You say the sound of you shuffling cards is ASMR for me. I love it. Shuffling cards is very soothing and calming for me. Thank you, 405er. So, Lisa, that's card number 26. For a moment now, be still. Be still. Pause in the breath. See what it feels like to be in the in-between moment. You have the capacity to take nourishment and oxygen You have the capacity to take nourishment and oxygen in far more deeply than you are allowing yourself at present. It is time to introduce the idea of breathing far, far more deeply and of holding the breath so that you know you are safe and traveling into areas where you have not been before. The ability to breathe deeply and to swim underwater will encourage you to believe in your own courage and potential and develop your lung capacity. Give yourself time in a place renowned for air that is pure, nourishing, exhilarating. Smells, scents, sounds, all carried on air enter into you. Drink in life, breathe deep, and fill yourself with the essence of life. So, okay. I'm definitely getting a sense of like it said, like deep breathing, right? De-stressing. Either you're going through right now, like most of us are, or it's coming in this week, something super stressful that I feel like you may have a really hard time handling. Like not so much, not as like something where you're like, oh man, this sucks, how am I going to deal with it, but like really deep down inside, like, oh my god, like feeling like something's catastrophic, you're overthinking it, you don't know which way to turn next. Just take a deep breath. And I was talking before you came in about being consciously aware of your emotional vibration during the day. Take a step back. Why are you panicking? Why are you not thinking logically and clearly? And if you can put doing that into practice, like, I mean, I've given this advice several times tonight already, but I guess this is the universal field that we're in right now. Practicing staying focused in the moment. Okay. I would recommend an essential oil diffuser, picking a scent that reminds you of something happy, a scent that reminds you of your true home, a scent that simply resonates with you. I feel as though you are possibly being overcome with emotion over a certain situation shifting or changing unexpectedly, Lisa. This is something's coming in this week, or something just came in for you that you didn't expect and you weren't able to plan for. And now you kind of have to think on the fly. Thank you, Ghost Dragons. Now you have to kind of think on the fly. And I don't know if that's something you're used to or not, but I feel like this one really threw you for a loop. So what I would do this week is go to people that you trust and just kind of keep yourself surrounded by them. Surround yourself in spiritual light. Surround yourself with scents that make you feel comfortable and calm. Learn how, again, like we did when we were infants, to self-soothe. Whatever this is that's changing at such a rapid pace, it's like you're blinking and everything's new. Thank you, Jules. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Lisa, I feel like there is a better way to deal with this rather than the worrying. Okay, there's something that definitely has you majorly worried. It could be a what if as of right now, but I feel like this what if is about to actually come and actually be it's happened. And the more you get used to the idea, okay, and focus your energy on living that truth, that this has already come to pass. There's nothing you can do about it. There was nothing you could have done to prepare for it. I feel like somebody is purposely trying to confuse you. Something that you know deep down inside, but you can't prove, right? So for example, and I'm not saying anyone's cheating on anybody. For example, and you could bring this into your situation however you see fit. You know for a fact your significant other is cheating. How do you know? Because you just do. Because you know your significant other, and intuitively you know. But you can't bring that to your significant other, because the cheater is not going to be like, oh, you think I'm cheating? You caught me. They're going to be like, where's your proof? This card is your proof, honey, that what you think is going on actually is going on. This is the preparation for you for when this all goes to poop and you don't know what to do. All right? Start living in that idea this week, because it's coming on rapidly.
Okay, Shelly.
All right. Okay. Well, like I said, that was only an example. What I meant is, if you know, like, somebody's doing you wrong behind your back, or if you know a friend isn't a real friend, or if you know your boss is about to fire you, you just know it in your gut. This card is your proof. It's backing you up. It's telling you that everything that you're thinking and feeling about this person or situation is real. Okay, it's not just all in your head. That was the message. The cheating was only an example of, like, you. Okay, sometimes it's harder than it looks. Shelly. Miss D, I see. Are you I think I have you confused with are you Bushcraft D? I thought you were Bushcraft D. Because she comes in here, she's DEE, and she's under like 3 or 4 different names. Either way, I see you as an abundant person in general. So I feel as though You're very focused, okay? And let me read for Shelly. Let me know if you're new here, because I was under the impression that you weren't. So I'll read for you right away so that you don't have to wait any longer. I apologize.
Yeah, actually, her and Dargo are next anyway. So
Okay, so let me read for Miss Shelly here. Shelly, I'm going to... You're very welcome, Lisa, and thank you for coming in. Shelly, I'm going to use Mythical Goddess.
I didn't know you had a channel, Batman. I'd come visit. I watch a lot of channels at night when I don't sleep. I'm the zombie ghost dragon then.
Shelly, you got the Four of Wind, the card of Patience. I'm sorry, Stephen. I didn't...
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You do your reading, baby.
Jupiter in Libra. The deep... Oh, we've got boobies. The deep peace of patience radiates from this woman with child. She's pregnant. Her inner calm and knowing is earned by her internal alignment with Source. She is open to receive the flow of stellar support always present. She shows that through perfect patience, the way is clear and illuminated, and all is coming in its perfect time. As you allow your patient, receptive mind to come to center, you open the channels for all that you desire to come to you when appropriate for your greatest joy and fulfillment. Being patient, honey. Wanting something more than you could possibly want anything. I'm going to hold the card down so we don't have an issue. Than you can ever possibly want anything, but understanding, you know, that at this point in your life, right, do things usually work out for you or do they not, right? So you could be one of those people where it seems like nothing ever works out for you and you're like, yeah, right, Gemma, just wait for it to happen. It never will. Regardless, the universe is telling you, you can have, I have to have the energy of the card. You can have everything you've ever wanted, and something you've been waiting a really long time for, Shelly, is going to be coming in for you. And I feel like it's peace of mind about something. Okay, so all of these lower vibrational energies and entities that surround you constantly, they're scaring you. I feel like you're finally being able to bring in love and light and peace and dispel some of these beings, creatures, energies. It's getting better. Being patient and knowing that as it gets better, it gets better. So step by step, things are getting better for you. As long as you stay in that abundant mindset, things are going to continuously get better until you're right where you want to be, until you're right where you want to be. And you get to choose the next thing that you want to happen. Stay in this abundant mindset. Don't fear any of it. And don't become impatient. If you do, curse the universe out a little bit and then move on. That's what I always do. I got a visitation earlier, and I was like, it's someone that I'm upset with because they haven't shown themselves. I can only hear them. And I'm like, dude, until you show yourself, like, go. Because it's annoying. It's annoying. I can see so many entities and so many spirits and so many beings and creatures, and you won't show yourself to me. I feel like there's something I'm missing about the other side. Where, like, if a person dies a certain way, maybe it's a lot harder for them to pull the energy up to show themselves.
See, I believe that. I believe, because see, everybody, when you die, the way you enter your death state is different from everybody. Yeah. Believe me. Now, see, as many times I've gone and come back, not each time as I've gone in, it's been different. So,
you're very welcome, Miss Shelly.
You just meant okay.
I love her. I'm telling you. I think me, Bat Mom, and Smoochie, me and so many of you have like so many different aspects of my personality, but you guys all just seem so fun, and I feel like we've really pulled Bat Mom and Miss Smoochie out of their shells, as far as being able to just be yourselves in stream with us. And I feel like you guys have finally found a home here, and I love that. You know, wow. We text on a personal basis now. And I feel like I'm getting to know you and a little bit what you're about, and you feel comfortable asking me questions, and I like that. I like that connection that we have now. You're not on the periphery of the community anymore, Batmom. Now you're a part of it. And Smoochie too. Smoochie started off hating me.
Well, I
Smoochie
don't think
started
she was
off
sure of you.
no, Smoochie started off really disliking me. I don't know what the reason was, but she finally said it one time. She's like, "Oh, she's like, you know what? I can't help but just like you, Gemma." Like she's a lot of people in this community, not so much in this chat, but like you'll see on my channel and my comments, a lot of people started off as really just not liking me. I had to prove myself to some people, and that's okay. YouTube is full of competition. So to have people that come here every week to be with us and to spend this time, it means a lot to me, you know?
Misty.
Not a reader.
Yeah, here.
Oops. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, Miss D, I was going to say, I feel like you're a very abundant person to begin with. Okay. And I feel as though, I want to get back to your original question. Your birthday is October 25th, Scorpio. Yes, my oldest son will be 23 on the 28th, and my other son will be 18 on the 9th, but he's a Libra. As a Pisces sun myself, I love my Scorpios. Let me pull a card. Sometimes when I pull one card, it's hard to get the answer to a question specifically, but I think that we can figure out if you're going to see some extra abundance, some more abundance coming in with your birthday. I will do my best. If not, I give personal readings. You can hit me up too, but I will do everything I can to get you an answer to that. I don't ever like to tell people that no, like abundance is not coming in, because abundance is always there on the periphery. It's kind of about how you're looking at it. But there are messages sometimes that come in where it's like you're going to be going through a trying time, you know, and not much abundance is going to be coming through. I feel like you have maybe been going through an emotionally trying time or challenging time in your life at least. And I don't blame you for kind of wanting the tables to turn, as it were. The Shaman's Dream. My ears are bright red right now. I can feel them just burning up. So somebody in here has really strong energy.
Very strong.
I just read for Shelly. That happens all the time. See it? Burning. All right. Okay, Miss D. So you got card number 56, and it's the card of obstacles. The Wall. Obstacles, being inconvenienced by life, detours, and non-action. There are moments in your life when you are so geared up, so sure that you're on track with such drive and momentum that you are shocked and confused when you encounter a wall. This unpredictability occurs outside your ability to plan, regardless of if you've done everything right in alignment with the divine. It's imperative that you change your attitude right now. This temporary roadblock is not an obstacle to blast through. This is not an invitation to push harder, cancel other plans, or worry about who will win or lose. This is a stopping point to enable you to slow down and contemplate the part of the manifesting equation that you and everyone else forgets. Life on life's terms will override your best laid plans. Yes, as inconvenient as it may seem, this experience is an important reminder that you're a human being, not a human doing. Perhaps you're being reminded of your mortality, or that you are but a small part of a bigger universe where your destiny intersects with others. Your life may be meant to serve another purpose at this moment, and your attention meant to be directed elsewhere. Consider that this place of temporary non-action is exactly meant to be for you. Perhaps it's because all you desire and have set in motion needs time to coalesce into form on the other side. Could it be that all the elements are not yet in place for its manifestation to be for the highest good of all? Patience is required now, and the wisdom that this might be a great time to take a break and contemplate gratitude. What is truly yours will never be walled off from you. So this doesn't mean abundance isn't coming. I'm getting the message for some reason of look at the abundance around you, right? So if there's something special that maybe you're waiting for or expecting, the universe is saying don't put too much stock in it right now because it's not time. That doesn't mean you're not ever going to get it. It doesn't mean you won't get it soon, but it doesn't mean you will. It means that because other people are always involved, I mean, other people touch our lives in the smallest of ways. If the mailman doesn't deliver your mail and you're waiting for a check, then you can't pay your rent, then you might get evicted, all because the mailman didn't come, you know, things like that. Like that's an extreme example, but you know what I mean. So if you're expecting abundance, though, you're going to receive abundance, but it's probably not going to be exactly what you were expecting because it almost never is. The universe has abundance for you. I feel like something new and different is coming in, something really kind of miraculous that's going to be better than something that you've been expecting, something you've been looking forward to, something you've been wanting. The universe is suggesting you stay in an abundant mind frame. Don't wall yourself off from it. And as long as you do that, even if you don't get exactly what you want, exactly when and or how you want it, you're still going to be able to recognize the greatness and the abundance that does come through. And then when the time is right, the universe will offer you exactly what you're looking for. But I'm telling you right now, it's not going to come, you know, looking like you expect it to. It's going to look completely different. But yes, it's coming. Yes, abundance is coming. Yes, I do believe, and I see in front of you, like these are weekly readings, but like if you're going on like a year calendar, I feel like this is going to be a very good year for you compared to the past several. If you want a personal, hit me up. It's like I said, it's hard with one card, and that's not just to sell a personal reading. You can ask anyone in here. I'm not like that. So.
Okay, Dargo.
You need to pull your, I always feel stupid talking to off camera, but you need to pull your energy way back because I'm about to start crying right now. And it's not because of anything happening with me. It's about this just pull back a little bit, back up a little bit, and you know, come in when you're ready. But please don't pass right here because then I'm taking on too much of you. Okay. I'm getting into my personal area of space here. Felt like I can't breathe.
To ask a question.
Sure.
I could tell that you were.
I'm okay. I just started feeling like I was going to cry, and I'm like, "What's happening? I'm having a great time." And then I looked over, and I was like, "Oh, tons of light coming in," and that's okay. But just I put this little barrier here. I didn't have time to do it today, and that makes sense that it's all coming in. Yes, star, sure. I'm okay. They pull back. They're very respectful. I don't think they realize what they forget sometimes what it's like to be human, you know? So when they come in, they don't realize that by getting that close to me, I'm taking on more of the message. Star, it's extremely fortuitous that you would ask that because these one card readings are exactly to tell you what you need to know right now and for the rest of the week. So, and going forward, if it should come up. So, give me a minute. This probably has to do with you because as soon as you came in and asked that, that's when that came and hit me like that. So, who's next?
Dargo, and then you can do Star, and then we'll do Heather.
Okay, Dargo.
Diesel girl left. Yeah, Dargo left. Dargo left.
No, I didn't hear what you said. You said Dargo, Star, and then
Diesel Girl, then Heather.
Okay. Dargo. That's okay. Dargo, I'm going to use Wild Mystic. Yeah, I knew Dargo didn't leave.
Yeah, I knew he was here.
Dargo the Wizard. Guys, I'm starting the series, which I should have started a while ago because I've already covered people who have had encounters with fairy tale beings or fairy tale creatures. But I'm starting the series next Monday. Yes, next Monday. And the first, hi J2. The first video will be about people who have encountered unicorns. It's a short one, but I think you guys are going to really appreciate it. So, okay. Zargo, you got the card of consume. I believe this is a vulture. So let's look. Yes, that makes sense. Consume vulture. So let me go to the end by the V's here. And TUVW vulture. Yes. I got it right this time. Because it only says consume and it shows the animal. It doesn't say the name of the animal. And it's under the animal. So like vulture.
Okay.
So that's why these are confusing. Dargo, this card represents the union of life and death, consuming that which has died in order to live. Many of the mythologies surrounding the vulture are in opposition to one another. While the ancient Egyptians associated the bird with life-giving, fertility, protection, and feminine deities, the ancient Greeks and Romans associated the bird with war, destruction, ill omen, and masculine deities. The vulture card may be asking you to confront your own duality or how the opposites within yourself complement you as a whole. As a carrion bird, the vulture is fundamentally linked to death, but it is through their scavenging that they feed themselves and their young. Just as the death of one creature nourishes the life of another, remember that we are three-dimensional imperfect beings made up of negative and positive traits. Our shadow may nourish our light as we learn and accept our own imperfections. And you did get it in the reversed, okay? The shadow reading of the consume card represents a conclusion that is difficult to swallow, either about those around you or about yourself. There may be a conflict or contradiction that is not easy to resolve right now, or hypocrisy you have discovered that unsettles you. Sit with this discovery and allow it to digest. Okay, so you're starting to understand that someone is either a total hypocrite or lying flat out to your face, okay? And the truth of that could really be affecting you emotionally. I don't really see you having like a physical reaction to it, or like, I don't feel it like changing you to the point where like you just can't stand it. But I do feel like you're like, this, you're like, really? Like you just were lying about that whole thing? Or like, really? Like you're that hypocrite? Like, I feel something like that coming in, and you just kind of shake your head and move forward. But I feel like that's not really the end of it, because it's something that's going to stick with you if you just walk away from it and don't think about it. Now, I don't want you obviously to sit in it and overthink, but you should give more thought to whatever this is to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Forgiving is one thing, but when this is something that happens over and over, either lying, cheating, being hypocritical, or hypercritical, it starts to leave a bad taste in your mouth, right? And I feel like this is a time where you can't kind of just move on. You have to confront this, nip it in the bud, and stop it from happening. And I feel like that could be a really hard thing for you to do, because whoever this is very close to you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will.
I was going to say, you're going to find out soon.
Don't learn today.
Yep.
But not today, this week.
Now, Star, she's going to go ahead and do you now.
All right. All right. Star. Lantern. I wanted to use the Divine Circus, but the disappointment of being blind to the truth. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. So maybe it's time to, like, giving people numerous chances, like, that's a beautiful thing, to be able to be that compassionate and understanding that, like, people are human and they make mistakes. But it's starting to get to a point where someone or several someones are taking advantage of your kindness and of your forgiveness.
So the
it's time for you to it's time for you to let them know that you understand that it wasn't a mistake. It's simply who they are. And there's no room in your life or in your energetic field or in your space for something like that. All right, Miss Star, you got card number 2 in the Lantern Oracle, and it's the card of radical curiosity, seeing as if for the first time, every time. All right.
Oh, Miss D. Here you go.
Hi, Cisco.
Miss D wanted to thank you again.
You're so very welcome, and I hope you come back. We're here every week from 7:15 p.m. Eastern until I run out of readings, or until 11:15 p.m. Eastern. You guys are so welcome. I love you guys. Okay, Miss Star. The maiden sees with wonderment the mystery and majesty of nature enthrall her and inspire the music she creates. Her presence reminds us to resume looking at the ever-changing world with the openness of a child. For the world's beauty and enchantment can be seen at every age, if and when we remember to access our inner magical and childlike perspective. The maiden is alive with the potent energy of raw inspiration. She reminds us of what it feels like to be radically curious about where an idea might lead. She experiences the world as a globe of magical unknowns to be explored. Curiosity runs through her veins as limitless energy. She creates her music from one inspiring idea to the next. She cannot anticipate the outcome of any tune she is exploring how to create. Nor does she necessarily have the self-discipline or regard for any elder's caution or advice on what is and what is not possible. The maiden's curiosity is wild and radical. She accepts and understands no limitation, nor does she refrain from venturing into the vast landscape of her imagination. She is without presumption, judgment, anticipation, or need of validation for her creation. Therefore, she fears no disappointment, rejection, or failure. Naivety frees her to boldly follow what she is inspired to express and immerse herself in the joy of expressing it. The maiden reminds you that you always have the power to change a routine that stifles your ability to see life with the excitement, possibility, and magic of a child. She encourages the reawakening of your innate radical curiosity and openness. May you enjoy a return to your fresh and unique perspective. May you also allow yourself to express what inspires you creatively. Radical curiosity is the maiden's alchemy, and yours too. Maiden's message: radical curiosity inspires creativity. You are feeling stuck, stagnant, stale. Where do I go next? What do I do next? Who can I trust? Who can I talk to? You know, there's so much overthinking going on with you, just like so many of us because of the retrograde, right? There's no protection from overthinking except realizing when you're doing it and doing your best to change your focus and your thoughts. Now, a lot of what this card is focusing on, Star, is not only creativity, either through music or something else, but being able to objectively see things and seeing the good in all things. So to answer your question, what you need to know right now, I feel like this card would probably be telling you that this card is telling you, thank you, that this week specifically, and I believe starting this week, it's important that you take a step back and try to look at things through a child's eyes. So things that make you very nervous, things that you fear, approach them through the eyes of a child. I feel like you're going to be having, or you are going through, some really difficult period in your life right now, or one's definitely coming in where you're just, like I said, you're stifled. You don't know which way to turn. You know, what happens next? It's like this fear of what next. And I feel like if you can just switch that and turn it into what's next, like it's got to get better than this, and it's going to, and not giving anyone the chance to bring you down, to tell you you're wrong, to make you feel small or stupid or belittle you. You do have people or a person around you. Again, I see like this circling who is just like, I see them like smacking your hand. Like you're going to take the piece of candy, they're smacking your hand. Someone who's trying to teach you tough lessons, but it's someone who hasn't learned these things themselves. I feel like you're being very fooled, and you feel like you're forced to kind of follow or listen to this person as they lead, as they speak, because you feel like there's no other way. And this card is saying, get creative. Go back to the mindset of a child. You don't have to put up with anyone's poop. You don't have to be a victim. You don't have to. What you need to know most right now and for this week is that whatever happens this week, if you can look at it through the eyes of positivity, through a positive lens, no matter what it is. I hate to be cliche again and say, see the silver lining on this storm cloud, but that's exactly what you're being told to do this week, because I feel like something could be turned from tragedy kind of to triumph with just a change of perspective. And that's a really important lesson that takes a long time to learn. But the sooner you start, the sooner you're done learning it, right? And you'll be able to just be that way, to just look at things that way, at least most of the time. Hey, Cassie. Who's next?
Diesel Girl. I'm sorry, I drew a blank.
So, Star, a change of perspective, a change of scenery, perhaps, can really get you looking at things and seeing things a lot differently. I do feel like you're being taken advantage of. You're being manipulated by someone very close to you who you trust. And you're just going to have to accept that you can't trust them right now. You don't have to necessarily call them out on it. I mean, you can if you want to. But that could just lead to more problems, because then it's going to be more lies and manipulations and playing on your emotions. I would just walk away from it if possible. If not, start planning your escape and make it magical. Make it one they'll never forget. I got something stuck. A piece of my filling came out, and
Ow.
it doesn't hurt, but there's something stuck. There's something stuck in there right now. Who is this, Diesel Girl?
Yep.
Oh, thank you so much. Mwah. And I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye, Lara. What was the last part? Oh, I don't know. I said a lot. Oh, make it like magical. Like, instead of calling this person out and being in conflict or confrontation with them, just know what you know and plan on getting yourself away from it or them, the situation or the person or the people, and then make it so amazing, so magical that they regret ever having effed with you. They regret ever having tried to manipulate you, taking you for granted, and lead you astray. Because there is at least one person in your life right now that is purposely trying to mislead you because they're afraid of losing you. But you know what? That's on them. They're acting like a complete a-hole or b-word, and you don't deserve that. You deserve better. So if I were you, I would plot in my head, plan like a chessboard, make a magical exit, and make it something they'll never forget and they'll never stop regretting. All right, Miss Diesel Girl, soulmate. Oh, this card just hurts. Not because it says soulmate, but the image. It's card number 14. Exactly. Bat Mom, exactly. Diesel Girl, open your heart and invite sacred love. Your soulmate is not far from you. To connect with them, you need to open your heart, call them in, and have patience. If you are not ready to accept your soulmate, keep working on self-love. You will be drawn to your soulmate like a magnet and feel an immense sense of familiarity, like you have known them before. Your capacity to love will increase dramatically, and you will experience higher states of consciousness. No one can touch your heart in the same way that a soulmate can. It is important to note that your soulmate will not necessarily be your partner. He or she may come in a completely different form than you have imagined, but they will offer you incredible wisdom, growth, and expansion. Be aware that we connect with our soulmates when we are ready to truly evolve and move to the next level of consciousness and life experience. We attract them into our lives when we need to open our hearts fully and learn about unconditional love. At the risk of bringing my own personal experiences into this once again, I was going to say that soulmate does not equal lover necessarily. You could have several soulmates. One of my soulmates is my son, RJ. RJ was born at a time in my life when I got pregnant for RJ at a time in my life when I was in addiction. His getting pregnant and his being born was how I was able to get myself off the drugs. It was the one thing I cared about more than the drugs, was this little guy. And I've grown. I've become stronger. I've become more independent. I've become more grateful. He's changed my life in so many ways. And now he says to me, Mommy, you're my soulmate. He knows, right? That's what this is. It's not necessarily a lover coming in. Could it be? Yeah. But I don't think it is for you, Diesel Girl. I feel like this is someone that your heart is calling out to, that you weren't ready to have in your life yet for whatever reason. And you're not going to know what those reasons were until you meet this person, connect with them, and get to know them a little bit. Your soulmate is coming in this week. I don't know, maybe, but I would give it till the end of October. New people coming in. Doesn't have to be people of the opposite sex. For you, I think it is going to be, though. And again, not in a romantic way. So be mindful of all the new people you meet in real life or online. The changes you want to make in your life are going to drastically start. Like the changes are going to be very dramatic once this person enters. And I feel like that's how you're going to recognize them as soulmate. So keep your eyes peeled for anyone new coming in. Feel them out. You're going to immediately connect with this person. Again, it could be someone of the same sex. It could be a female that just has a lot of masculine energy, you know? Why is this card so significant? Big deal. Your soulmate's coming in because your life is about to change in a major way. In a way, in one area specifically, something you've been dreaming about is going to come in with this person. So say that you always wanted to be a singer. This person's going to be like some kind of producer. Do you know what I mean? Like something like that. It's going to be so kismet that it's going to be undeniable, and your life's going to change for the better in every conceivable way, but especially in one area that you've been waiting for it to change for a really long time. And it seems like no matter what you do, nothing's changing. That's because this person was not meant to come in until now. You and this person are soul mates. That means while you were both in spirit form, you were up there together, plotting your chart and their chart, how you were going to meet and how it was going to affect the both of you.
Okay. Heather Nikki.
Heather Nikki. Let's do Deep, Dark, and Dangerous. Hi, Explorer. Good night, Jules. It's gonna be May.
Hi, Jules. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, I don't know why that popped into my head.
That's all right. Go for it, baby doll.
That ain't no lie. In sync, really.
Have a wonderful night, Jules.
Good night, everybody who's going out of here. Love you all. Thank you so much for coming in, for your beautiful energy.
We do appreciate you hanging.
Sure do. Who is this now? Heather Nikki?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Gonna stop taking names now. Nyx, Darkness. Nyx is the goddess of night, and this is a dark card, card number 19.
Well, welcome back, Ralph.
Hi, Ralph. Sorry, guys. It's driving me nuts. Okay. My nose itchy. Heather, the darkness is necessary. It is the place of possibility and rest. It is natural and beneficial to experience some cycles of darkness. You can illuminate your way through dark times. Not everything unpleasant is evil. The embodiment of the night is the goddess Nyx. She was one of the primordial or original deities emerging at the very beginning of the universe. Her fathers were Chios and Orphanes, and one of the oldest of gods. She fell in love with Erebus, who is darkness, and created Aether, which is light, and Hemera, which is day. She self-created the infamous three fates, the Morai, as well as Apate, I'm so sorry I'm butchering this, deception, Dolos, nemesis, balance and retribution, the Caries, the Hesperides, and the Oises, misery, Momus, doom, the Oneiroi, nightmares, Hypnos, sleep, Thanatos, death, Philos, friendship, Geras, old age, Eris, strife and discord, Eris, and Charon, the ferryman to the underworld. In the Orphic tradition, Auranos, the god of the sky, was also a child of Nyx. She is referred to as the Dark Mother in Greek mythos, elementally a first goddess who begat many other important deities. As she is one of the oldest and strongest of the Greek deities, even the mighty Zeus is said to not want to provoke her. After angrily chasing Hypnos into Nyx's cave after being tricked by him and his own wife Hera, Zeus would go no further than the entrance. Looking at most of her progeny, it would be easy to think that Nyx is evil or that her darkness could have a negative judgment. Nyx should not be viewed this way. Winged and beautiful, Nyx is simply the night. No judgment on whether that is better than the day. Paradoxically, she creates light and day. She brings balance with Nemesis, Philos, and Charis. She brings rest with Hypnos and Thanatos. Nyx just represents the darker nature of how the world works. Plant companion, night blooming jasmine. Crystal companion, onyx. Okay. Lisa, thank you so much. Lisa, can you email me?
I'll put the email in chat here.
Just email me. That'd be a lot easier. I appreciate it. So, ow, that hurt. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to be gross, but it's really bothering me. Okay, so
take care of yourself real quick.
Got it. The wisdom of the House of Night is allegedly the Oracle deck, the wisdom of the House of Night, was allegedly like its messages from Nyx herself, right? So I feel like Heather, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, that was a lot to read. Heather, I feel like there is something happening in your life right now that you're looking at through a very dark lens. You're looking at it as betrayal. You're looking at it as, heartbreak. You're looking at it as pain. You can't believe it. And it may very well be betrayal, and it may very well cause pain, but you've got to look at it through a different lens, right? Just like not all that glitters is gold, not all that is dark is evil. And whatever the reason that this is happening, or whatever is happening, the reason it's happening is to bring more lightness into your life, more goodness, to move you away from the darkness, from the evil. There's a person I feel like you're misjudging, okay? I feel like if you got to know this person a little better, you might actually find you have a lot in common with them. It could be someone of the opposite sex. It could be someone that you're looking to date, or it could just be someone who you thought you were going to have a friendship with, and then, they offended you somehow. I feel like whatever is happening that's coming in that you're dreading, that you're feeling stuck in, that you're upset about, if you would just look at it again, like I just said, from a different lens, understand that it's happening for your highest and greatest good. It's about time that it happened. You're finally ready for it to happen. And you're going to look back on this even weeks from now and be like, oh my gosh, how much better my life has been since A, B, and C happened. And I thought it was so terrible. I thought it was the end of the world. So go through this, be in this right now. Be in this space, mourn it, be upset about it, let your heart break a little bit, but understand that whatever this quote unquote alleged darkness is that's creeping in, it's not darkness, okay? It's just going to surround one particular thing in your life so that the universe can shine a light on it and have it be swept away. Okay, so whatever you feel like you're losing, you may very well be losing that situation, that person, that job, that friendship, but you're going to be gaining something a million times better. That it's only going to take a week or two before you understand that. So while it feels like this is everything right now, and it might be crushing or very confusing, whatever, the tunnel before the opening, that's a beautiful way to put it, okay? Oh, Salvatore. So yeah. It's going to work out for the better and very quickly. Tracy, you can come in. We're at 10:33. You're only 3 minutes late, but I am going to call
She was actually in here earlier. She just
okay. I'm going to call it at that, guys, only because I've had a really rough day, like I said, and I just want to. No, Tracy, don't worry about it. I'll read for you. Just be patient. And we didn't mention Salvatore. Where was he?
No, he's next.
Oh, okay.
He's just letting him know he's here.
Okay.
Yeah, I called him.
Wash hand, wash hand, wash hand. I don't know what that means. All right. So let's look at the Divine Circus for Mr. Salvatore here.
Good night, 405er. You have a good and wonderful night, okay?
Good night, 405er. Have a great night, hon. Thanks for coming in. Heather, you're so welcome.
And Salvador, you're up now.
Talk her through login. Okay. Oh. Secret of Shinobi, card number 11, Sal. Yeah, guys, and I gotta eat. The ninja goddess, this ninja goddess brings you a message. Sometimes being less visible, less transparent, less seen for a time is helpful. It doesn't mean being dishonest or deceptive, but it does mean keeping your intentions and your truths to yourself until you see the best way to attain your goals. In fact, the best way to attain your goals might be more of the iron fist and a velvet glove approach. You might find that gentle persuasion works far better than direct confrontation, which can unintentionally inflame a situation and trigger defensive reactions in others instead of finding a way to bring resolution. If you've been frustrated that you are not breaking through into a more prominent position or being seen as clearly as you would like, don't worry. That will pass, and you will be given your time to stand up and be seen at the right time. For now, at least, you can move more freely without obstruction, jealousy, competition, or sabotage if you keep your private affairs very private indeed. When it's time to show your hand, to reveal your intentions and speak more openly and publicly about what has been gestating, you'll know it. But for now, let things come together away from prying eyes. Just for now, it's time to keep a secret. I need a hair tie. Okay. So Salvatore, be very careful who you. Okay, good night, Lisa, and I'll check it out and get right back to you. Salvatore, be careful who you let in to your inner emotions, okay? Be careful who you tell a secret to. Be careful who you vent to. Be careful who you tell your ideas to this week. There's a snake in your grass. There's somebody looking to sabotage you. I feel like you know who this is, and I feel like you may want to give them a bit of misinformation to try to trip them up, because then you can call them out or confront them. Don't do that. Don't waste your time. They're not going to change. They're not going to feel bad. They're not going to feel guilty. If you come across someone like this, and you'll know because you'll feel it in your gut, just stay far away from them. I'm not saying you can't trust anyone in your inner circle, but until you find out who the snake is and kind of weed them out slowly, get them out of your life, I would just stay quiet about my intentions and my opinions. Don't let anybody in too close this week, unless it's someone you trust implicitly. Like, I mean, I would just say nobody, but you really have to trust this person because you don't know who this other person is working with. And I do feel like there are several someones that are jealous of where you are right now. So these stuck feelings, these stagnant feelings, these painful feelings, they're coming from this energy that people are projecting at you right now. And until you figure out who those people are, I would just be very quiet about my next move, about my plans, anything like that. Definitely starting this week.
Okay, I was trying to see if Evan was still around.
Your brother. Yeah, okay. So you know who it is. Avoid him like the plague, but watch some other people in your inner circle too, that they're not kind of still talking to him, that he's not manipulating them into giving information about you. Have a talk with the people that are around you and be like, hey, this is what's going on with my brother, so-and-so. So I'd appreciate if you guys didn't talk to him about me. He may be trying to weed questions out and find out about me. I don't want him knowing anything about my personal business. You can let people know that. If it gets back to him, though, then you're going to have to wonder which one of these people you told him. You could just be quiet and let that person out themselves and come to you and be like, hey, your brother was asking about you. What's the deal with that? And then you can tell that person, like, I'm really not dealing with him right now, just for this week. Tracy?
I'm sorry.
No, who's next?
We're going to go ahead and do J2.
J2? Okay.
Yeah.
Are they here?
They just said one of the cards.
Okay. Okay, so J2 and then?
Yep, right there. Okay. And then after them is Cisco. She's still here. Then Chief or Tracy.
Okay, so Cisco, let us know you're still here, hon, because after these readings, I am ending. I am so hungry. I feel like I'm going to pass out. J2, I'm using Mythical Goddess. The Ten of Wind, it's the card of illusion, J2. J-Toe, sorry. J-Toe, got it. Wind, Ten of Illusion. Or the Ten of Wind, the card of illusion. It's the moon in Gemini. This silly little girl is armed to the teeth against the furious imaginary rainstorm she perceives to be lashing at her from above. In reality, there's just a tiny rain cloud passing overhead, and it's a beautiful sunny day. Through the lesson of her example, she urges you to pay attention. What you are holding dear as your reality is likely far from the truth. It is time to expand your horizons and put on your feelers beyond your limited mental perceptions and see the humor of your illusions. There is no bigger picture to be seen when you are no longer fooled by appearances. Someone is lying to you. Very much so. This person in this card is not, they're going by what someone told them. Someone told them that they need to dress this way and bring out this big old rainstorm or big old umbrella because this giant hurricane was coming in. When really it's this tiny little sun shower that's going to pass in a minute. Someone is, you're very, very welcome. Someone is lying to you. Someone is manipulating you. Could it be a love relationship? Very much so. But it also could be anything. Someone in your inner circle, someone you're close to, just like I just said to Salvatore, only this is different. This person is flat out lying because they're getting joy out of watching you be fooled, watching you be disappointed, and watching you go through pain. All right? This person does not love you, and I'm not being harsh. This is not me. This is what's coming from the universe. They don't love you. They don't care if you're upset. They don't care how you react to how they treat you. They're not going to stop doing what they're doing, okay? If it is a love relationship, there's definitely a third-party situation going on here. All right. I know I never get readings like this, but this is just pouring in. Please, if you know instinctively who this person is, please reevaluate your relationship with them, especially if it's romantic and interpersonal. You cannot trust this person as far as you can throw them. And from what I can see, you probably can't lift them up at all. Yes. That mom, as if I wouldn't know all about that, right? Please get away from them. Okay, I feel like even if you reveal them, if you go to them with proof, okay, and say, I know what you're doing, and here's the proof. Just say, good night, Dargo. Just say it's someone cheating on you. It doesn't have to be, like I said, doesn't have to be personal, romantic. It could be. Just say you have proof because you found pictures of another person in their phone, nudes, and you bring it to them. They're going to be that person who completely walks out on you for weeks and gets angry because you had the audacity to violate their privacy by looking through their phone. Like, we're dealing with that kind of person here, the worst kind of person. Please get away from them.
Okay, Tracy, you're almost done. And if,
all right.
If Chafe doesn't answer, then you're done.
All right, Tracy, I'm going to use the Ceccoli Oracle for you. Ooh. I'm about to go have a blue raspberry and lemon Italian ice, Luigi's, because that's my favorite, with 2 small Cozy Shack rice puddings and a broccoli and garlic white slice of pizza. And I'm going to eat it all at once while I clean up. Mm-hmm. Oh, Ralph. No, you can be next. I'm sorry.
I thought he wasn't staying because he said something about not staying.
Ralph, hang around.
Yes,
there's always time for one more, guys. Thank you, Sal. Me too, but I'm picky about it, Jules. It's got to be Luigi's, and I like the red, white, and blue.
I made cream of broccoli soup.
Tracy, card number 9. And it is the card of happy place. Your happy place might be a physical place, or it might simply be a happy state of mind. It might include your loved ones, your favorite pastimes, your dear animal friends. What are the elements that come together to fill your heart with happiness? This card is a sign that it's time to visit your happy place. You need to cast off your worries for a while and trust that the universe is taking care of you. You can safely relax and replenish your emotional well-being. Light, everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to be, so feel free to rest and to play. Dark, everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to be, so you might as well rest and play. There is no dark. This is a card that's telling you everything is falling into place for you, okay? So everything that you've been working towards, everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been hoping for, The universe has got your back, and it's going to start this week. You're going to start noticing little things, Tracy, that are changing little by little. So the universe wants you to take some time for you. Take some time for Tracy. It doesn't matter what you have to do. Now, of course, I'm not saying blow off work and your responsibilities, but if you like to read in your spare time, find a free hour this week to read. Do what you like to do. Go to the places you like to go and stop worrying so much. Easier said than done, Gemma. Yes, I know, but I'm not saying it. The universe is. The universe right now is practically sponsoring you by telling you, relax, don't worry. We've got your back. This toxicity, this codependency, this gross energy that's been surrounding you for so long that you feel has really bogged you down and made it impossible for you to realize your goals and manifest your dreams. That's just not the case. The universe was letting you sit in it for a little while so you never have to be back in that space again once it pulls you out, because it is pulling you out. The energy is going to start shifting and changing around you for the better this week. So go have some fun. Go out with your friends, or stay in, like I said, read a book, catch something you've been waiting to catch on Netflix, take a hot bath. It doesn't matter. Whatever you like to do, go do. You can stop worrying for a little bit, because the universe is telling you it's all about to change, honey, and for the better. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I feel really on point tonight. I almost always do. Every once in a while, I get a feeling that I get confused because I don't know all of you personally, right? I don't know all of you, your personal situation. So sometimes it can be really confusing for me. Luigi's watermelon. See, it's got to be the red, white, and blue, or the lemon. I like when it has lemon in it. I've tried their flavored. They're like all right, but you're very, very welcome, Tracy. All right, Ralph, I'm going to use Mythical Goddess. Hi, Lucum Spookum. If you want, email me, because you missed tonight's reading. I had to end a little bit early, and I'm pushing it as it is. But thank you so much for coming in. I'm good. Do I know you? Have you been in here before? The name looks very familiar. Ralph, you got the 2 of C's, and it's the card of love. Venus in Cancer. Ralph, 2 dolphins play and dance in the water of love, representing intimate relationship on all levels. 2 waterfalls flow into one, just as individuality forms the strong basis of true union. Merging into oneness comes as the isolated ego is surrounded into the ocean of love. Love is who you are and is all around you to experience. Open your heart fully to the relationship you deserve. So I don't do love readings specifically, Ralph, but I do feel like this is talking about romantic love. Okay, Lucum. So we're here every Wednesday night from 7:15 till around 10:30ish. So I'm so sorry. I feel. Okay, Lucum, I'm going to give you a reading. So hang out. You're going to be my last one. I'm not going to turn away somebody new because I'm hungry. So Lucum, hang out and give me a minute. You'll be next. Ralph, this is talking about romantic love. Not only romantic love, but I feel like your soulmate's coming in. Another soulmate, possibly. I feel like you've already dealt with your twin flame, but another soulmate is coming in. Someone you can really see yourself spending time with. If this sounds totally out of the clear blue sky to you, it is what it is. But I feel like you can have an idea of who this person is. Why don't you make a gesture? You already know they're on the same page. You already know they're on the same level. It's you that you're worried about. But you know what? The universe is saying, give it a chance. Dip your feet in and test the waters. Because this relationship is meant for you. Okay? You're very, very welcome. No, just one more. That's it. Lucum Spookum. I'm going to use the Ceccoli Oracle on you as well. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's very specific and very abrupt, but yeah, it could also be, Ralph, friendship love, the love of a child, making your relationships in your life more valuable and worthwhile, putting more effort into them and receiving more effort from people. But I do feel like this is a romantic thing. Chad Smith, hi! No, it's not that I don't want to read for him. It's that I'm starving and I'm ending early tonight. I'm so hungry. All right. Chad, it's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. It's been a long time. All right. Lucum, you got card number 1 in the Ceccoli Oracle, and it is the card of denial. The world can be a mean, scary place. Sometimes you need to shut out all the ugliness and only give your attention to pleasant, pretty things. But you've taken it too far. Don't cover your ears and deny reality. When you're in denial about your problems and hope they go away on their own, you may put yourself in danger. Even a small difficulty can easily become a real mess if you refuse to deal with it. Light, things are not nearly as bad as you feared. Don't exaggerate. Dark. Pain and fear are helpful tools that alert you when something's wrong. Don't ignore them. So, well, it's okay to take a break every once in a while. No, it's not. It's not what you're thinking. Don't overreact. What it's saying is don't fall into this trap of denial. It doesn't say you're in it. It's saying don't fall in it. So as little things come up, we can tend to get overwhelmed more so with 5 little things than one really big thing, right? Because then it only seems like it's one thing after another. Whereas when one big thing happens, nothing's happened in a while, we're like, okay, we can deal with this. Something is going to be coming in this week or next week. Okay. Probably this week. But I don't like to give definitives like that in case, God forbid, it should be 9 days instead of 7. That it's really going to challenge you, and you're really going to want to not deal with it. I feel like it's going to be something that you're very surprised by, something that caught you, it came out of left field, caught you very off guard. And it's one of those things, and I'm famous for this, okay, no judgment or indictment. I'm famous for this being like, well, I'll just pretend like I don't know that and keep looking at everything through my Pisces rose-colored glasses. But that never works, okay? So what the universe wants you to do is just, even at the very least, acknowledge that it's happening. And if you're not ready to give up on the situation or the person or the relationship yet, bring it to them, okay? Bring the issue out front and center, because the more little things that pile up, the harder it's going to be 3 months from now when you have 27 things to deal with instead of 1, and you've already dealt with the previous 26, okay? Don't put off any kind of emotions or feelings. Deal with everything as it comes up. And I feel like in 3-4 weeks, within a month from now, you're going to have worked this out with the person, whether it be you go your separate ways. And again, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. So whether you go your separate ways or you reconnect, reunite, and forgive each other, definitely acknowledge what's right in front of you, okay? It's going to be extremely unhealthy and to nobody's benefit for you to play the fool in the coming weeks. Chad, I am so happy that you came in to hang out with us and to say hi. Lucum, come back anytime. If you get here a little earlier, it's a lot less intense. I'm also 2-3 Red Bulls in today and I haven't eaten. So I love you guys. I'll see you guys all next week. And thank you so much for coming in. As usual, hit me up, GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com for personal readings, information on things that I'm selling through my business. I think I'm going to premiere the website on Halloween or that week, just because I think it'll be cool. Other than that, be kind to each other. Be kind to yourselves. You're worth it. You deserve it. You're spectacular. You're beautiful just the way you are. And anyone who's not telling you those things on a regular basis does not need to be in your life. Good night, everyone. Dragons, I'll talk to you later after I eat.